We'd actually gotten back from the cave. We just never transformed back over to the Marsden one.
We were coming.
Hey.
We were at Manston. We had delivered the heads of the orcs.
We were designing our new group symbol, which we figured should be a mound of dead orcs on a two-crossed dead orc motif.
But we had gotten back to Marsden, seen the not the marshal, townmaster.
Yeah, we saw
Made
him.
him very, very green, almost as green as an orc from seeing the dead orcs. Got our payment, and that's about where we left because then we were going to go into shopping, and then to deal with the castle. As far as I remember.
Does sound roughly correct.
So now shopping.
So they all bought everything they own. Everything.
Yeah. I feel like we should spend this money in a town that doesn't need it and just walk out of this town with all of its cash.
No. Art needs to take Sej to go finish Sej's Shine band. Tail band.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Because it should be done being crafted. We have to take it from the metalsmith, the blacksmith to the other, not the Blue Lion Cluster, the other shop, the jewelers, and I've forgotten the name of it, to get the gemstone set.
Yes, we do.
I don't know. Go on. Were you going to say something, Ron? Hello?
Yep, hello?
Yes, hello.
I just said, yeah, we should.
Okay, good. Well, I was going to say that if people want to spend money, perhaps they should consider acquiring horses. Horses for courses.
Is that a Zeeb? That's a Zeeb.
It is a Zeb.
Yep.
Amazing.
Zeb.
Welcome. We just recounted where we were. We are in Manston.
We probably should get horses.
So I believe Saroth already has a mount.
Yes.
A high quality mount.
Gigantic.
Probably will scare the horses, frankly.
Quite possibly.
That's why you get a draft horse. They give no fucks about anything. Yeah, I think in the interest of not bogging things down, we can just kind of say that we've sorted out the tailband thing. How much was that all going to cost, Altor?
Do we still have a wagon, by the way?
You do. It's still left at the inn in town, actually.
Yes. So I'm going to upgrade to a carriage, I believe, which carries 200 extra LBs.
Yeah, whatever those are. Who knows?
I know, right?
Obviously.
But yeah, how much coin am I gonna be dropping to get this tailband finished?
Between the blacksmith and the jeweler, probably about 2 gold.
How much? You just dropped a bit.
20.
20? Easy done.
And Art would have made sure that you didn't just hand over all the shiny things and say, "This is good, right?"
Didn't just hand over a platinum.
Well, platinum is 10 gold. So
Well, several platinum.
A whole bag full of platinum, thinking it's silver
Yeah.
and not knowing the value of coin.
You said 20. Okay, so that takes me down to that.
Yeah, riding horse is 75 gold.
Oh, is
Goes
that
for-
all?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horses are not that expensive. If you
Yeah.
want the war horse, that's 400 gold though.
Yeah.
I could afford a war horse.
Yeah, so could I, but I can't ride it because I'm tiny. I could get a pony or a mastiff and ride those, but they don't move as fast, so I think I'll just be in the carriage. Ooh, elephant is 200 gold. They have elephants in this tiny little village, right?
Where do you see the prices of mounts and stuff?
It's
Page,
page 157.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really in this town would have even really heard of an elephant.
Ooh, donkey is 8 gold.
Mm.
You could get donkeys.
That might be more troop speed.
Hmm.
Well, donkeys are at the same speed of a horse.
The
A
pony,
yeah, a pony.
mastiff.
Generally speaking, we don't need to go super fast. It's just
No.
we can carry more stuff with us,
Yeah,
more
I
loot.
think I'll be hanging in the carriage if you're buying that. So
Just
You won't take up much room in the carriage.
no, I mean the carriage carries 600 pounds. I think I weigh like 40.
Yeah.
My stuff weighs more than me, so not a lot.
I like the idea of someone bending down to pick Pock up and they're like surprised by how heavy he is just from all the stuff he's carrying.
Yeah. Feed is 5 copper pieces per day, so actually also 10 pounds. So if we there are how many of us? 6?
six, yeah.
6, yeah. So the 6 of us, if we travel for 10 days, the feed will fill the carriage.
One of you has a magic mount that just appears when he needs it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Besides,
Presume too that if you're riding through the wilderness, you can just let your horses fucking eat grass and shrubs. And...
Hmm.
They could probably graze in most places a little.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I believe carriage is a comfortable way to travel. You can have
Yeah.
stuff on top of carriage, and then you have the
Yeah, like Pock. We'll be
Yeah.
throwing fireballs from top of the carriage.
Oh
Boom,
gosh.
boom. Throwing 2 fireballs and then resting for 8 hours.
My other favorite mental image at the moment is fucking Ruin reclining in his carriage as it travels along,
Mm.
just enjoying himself.
Well, once you've left the town master, you can spend a bit of time in the town visiting the local stables, arranging for a new carriage, several horses.
Mm.
I already had two. How many horses do I need for the carriage? Was it like 4? Or... Well, I mean, I don't know.
I
It's
think it really specifies.
It
Yeah, it doesn't.
doesn't.
Well, the carrying capacity of 2 horses is more than the carriage weight.
I say more than likely you could probably still pull your carriage with 2 horses.
Mm.
The more horses you string up to it, obviously the faster it can go.
Well, no, I mean, the speed is not the issue. It just needs to carry on.
Well, yeah, you could pull your carriage with 2 horses.
I believe each horse like quadruples or something. How much you can carry on a thing? I forget. either way, it's not that big a deal. Should be adequate. Though with 50 extra horses, would not be a bad idea. Actually, I'm just gonna buy extra horses then. 10 each
Yeah,
and some
it's-
food.
Yeah, it's only 100 to buy 2 horses.
Yeah, I got plenty cash. So gonna be that
And then
much.
Altor will kill all our horses just like Sizer did.
Unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah, but we had that favor we burned.
Mhm.
I
You
just
took my
bought mine.
pony. I'm getting a Gaijin riding horse.
Yeah, I just still have a pony with Moscow because I didn't turn in my favorite.
Bit and brittles.
I can't believe that an elephant costs less than a warhorse.
Yeah.
You know,
I
there have to be
don't-
somewhere where an elephant would be available.
Which
Yeah,
is
because
fair.
usually in places where there's a lot of elephants, there are not
Less
that many
horses.
war horses.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is we need to get a bunch of elephants to ride around on.
Yes.
Right, first you're going to want to procure passage on a ship and sail for about
6 months.
5 to 6 weeks
Let's do it.
west.
All right. I'm up
Ooh,
for
a
it.
galley is 30,000 gold. I don't think we can afford one.
Yeah, we might wanna.
You could probably
Collect some
procure
cash.
passage for a bit less than 30,000.
Yeah, but then we don't have a. Then we would have to, pay more to carry all the loot back.
And the
Oh,
elephants.
the elephants.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
elephants. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'd say if we want to do an expedition somewhere, we're gonna get our own ship.
It would have to be quite a sturdy vessel to put 6 elephants on it and not have them end up somehow making a hole.
Yeah, galley. That's the biggest ship, right?
Yeah.
But either way, yeah. So Ruin's gonna upgrade to a chariot, and well, not a chariot,
Chariot?
Carriage.
Yeah, carriage.
No,
Not
get a
chariot.
chariot. Do it.
You can. It's
He's literally upgrading
250.
himself into a chariot. He's getting wheels equipped on his feet.
But yeah, no. And then I believe there was a local drinking establishment
Or
of
two.
some kind.
The one that the dwarf lady
Is sort of temporarily closed down at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that. There was another place, I forget its name.
The Stonehill Inn, which is also the tavern you had been staying at.
Yes, okay, yeah. So Ruin's gonna seek out the owner of the establishment and inquire how much gold it would be to have a celebration where roll out some barrels of ale and like a small cask of wine, and then everybody can have a drink.
A
What
barrel of aged whiskey.
Or just how many barrels? What kind of barrels you're thinking of?
So everyone in town can have a drink. That's a lot of barrels, I imagine.
Just the one?
He's asking,
Mhm.
you want everybody to show up at my inn for one drink?
Well, let's say, just one. Actually, Ruin doesn't know how to process this. He's not very unsure how this drinking business goes.
He might have wanted to take someone that does.
Does drinking require more than one drink?
Oh yes.
Ruin will
If we
ask.
go by what banquet means in the book, it's banquet per person is 10 gold. So
Holy crap, that's a lot of Money we're spending
Yeah.
on feeding people.
Yeah, but banquet means also, food,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe.
And and a
Well,
banquet suggests a certain amount of fanciness.
Yeah.
yeah, mug of ale is
4 coppers.
4 copper. Gallon. What's a gallon?
I don't know. Nobody does.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's keep
Reeve,
it.
what's a gallon?
Like
Yeah.
eight
You know,
mugs. 8 mugs.
okay, let's not go into this too deep. Ruin will offer the innkeeper, let's say 200 gold to offer free drinks in like weeks time when we come back from the castle after we kill all the goblins. Because then we fuck off from this place, and I want people to have good memories about us when we killed everything surrounding the countryside and then threw a big party.
200. How much is a silver piece? It's 10th of gold, right?
Yep.
So that's 200 gold pieces, 2,000 gallons of.
1,000.
Yeah, 2,000. No, 200 gold pieces. 1 gallon is 2 silver pieces, so it's 2,000 gallons of ale.
How much is
If
in a
there's
barrel?
a gallon is 2 silver pieces, that means there's 5 gallons in a gold piece. 5 times 200 is 1,000.
It's 1,000.
Let's see.
29.9762583 imperial gallons are in a barrel. So there's roughly 30 gallons to a barrel.
Okay,
So
so
that's
30 gallons divided 2,000.
30 gallons would be about 240.
Actually, no.
mugs.
I've gotten a bit further down into Google. Apparently, one UK, and this is an official formula from Google. One UK beer barrel is 43.2342 US liquid gallons.
okay. So divide 1,000 by that.
Well,
Yeah,
2,000.
so no, 1,000. Yeah,
1,000.
she's right. Yeah, 200 gold pieces is 1,000 gallons. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's 2 silver pieces per
Silver
gallon.
pieces, right.
That'd be 23 barrels roughly.
Okay, yeah, so 23 barrels.
Well,
There's a lot of barrels.
I may need to order a bit more stock in.
Well, he's saying have it ready for when we get back from murdering the next crop of things. So
Indeed, we
He's
are
giving him
indeed
like
going
a
to be.
week.
Yeah.
If you're wanting it in a week or so, it may be possible.
He could get could
the thing is, if ruins are paid up front for that many barrels, and I've already just forgotten how many barrels I said it was.
23.
Yeah, so if ruins paid up front for 23 barrels, even if there's not not enough people in this town to drink 23 barrels dry, there's nothing stopping her from selling what's left over after we've
Him.
left and making more profit.
This one's a him.
Whoever.
Oh, him, this one then, yeah.
Indeed,
Yes,
precisely.
this was Toblin.
Indeed,
Toblin
Toblin.
Stonehill.
Yeah, so yeah, once everybody's drunk all that they drink, then you can sell the rest if not all of it is drunk.
I'll certainly do the best I can to make arrangements.
How many people are in this town? Like 1,000?
More like 100.
2,000?
If I was gonna say, if the picture's any indication, we'd be lucky if we top out at about 250.
So it's like barrel per no. Like barrel per 10 people. Like,
Pretty
that's
much.
a lot of
That's a lot of beer.
drinking.
Well, I mean, if the innkeeper wants, he can spread the word to neighboring towns and have them come along as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Indeed.
And
Yeah.
then if there is no like booze for free, then he can sell them from his own stock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My, I'm just imagining now that we try. Ruin's idea is to leave the town loving us because we've supplied them with free booze just before we go. In reality, the town ends up hating us because they basically drink themselves to oblivion.
Yeah, and all the ruffians from the countryside come in and
And just take everything.
take, drink all the beer and break all the stuff.
Well,
Yes.
presumably we'll be here when the party
Yeah,
starts.
that's true.
True.
The town we came from, I've already forgot.
Malamba.
Malamba. That's how many days from here?
About 3.5 to 4 days.
In a week, he could easily get to Malamba
And back.
And back.
Yeah. Especially if he can send word ahead to say to someone a contact he's got back there that he
Oh, if Art was with Ruin, Art will give Tovlin Alfie's name down by the docks and tell him that
Contact this
Art's
guy. He has,
yeah. To contact Alfie at the King's Cross Inn, and he should be able to help get some connections to get the right amount of ale, and to tell him if you contact him that Miss Art sends her regards.
I'll be sure to try that, miss.
Yeah, it's payday. Payday for everybody.
Yeah.
But yes.
Now back to the subject of horses for a second.
Yeah.
Given the famously skittish nature of riding horses, and the fact that when you come down to brass tacks, Sejkurik is just straight up a predator. I'm wondering if it would be better for him to have a war horse that's less likely to freak the fuck out when he approaches it.
This is also a setting where your average roadway is also filled with goblins and kobolds, so it
And
may
wolves.
not be. Yeah.
Yeah.
They may be
It's
less skittish around things like.
Yeah, the fun part is when I throw my first fireball and all the horses run away.
Indeed.
Or break their fucking ankles.
Mm.
Excuse me while I start looking at rules for morale checks for ponies.
These aren't ponies, they're horses. Riding horses.
Indeed.
Or draft horses in case of the chariot.
Is there anything else anyone wishes to take care of in town?
Or wagons. Well, I'd like to get spell materials, but I already bought everything.
What materials?
The
materials.
ink.
Ah,
And they ran out.
Yeah,
yes, and they need probably a couple more days.
yeah. Well, when we get back, then I can scrape the lightning bolt.
Sorry, has anybody looked at the trade goods table?
Can't say that I have.
Trade good.
1 pound of ginger or 1 goat are equivalent cost.
Yep.
1 pound of cinnamon or pepper or 1 sheep are an equivalent cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Why do you
it's
think-
the,
Why do you think Andy had picked up 2 sheep?
He could have got 2 pounds of pepper.
a lot easier to travel with.
Exactly.
But it's going for the old-timey, the spices are really expensive.
Yes.
Anyway,
Regarding
yes.
the meme that, like, if people from the Middle Ages were here, you'd be like, they're all amazed by the technology, but when they go to the supermarket and see all the spices,
They
that'll
just about
blow
shit
their minds.
themselves. Yeah.
Mhm.
My God, you had pepper for days.
Yeah. These spices, where are these from? Oh, that's curry, that's from India. How do you get it from India? Yeah, it's just-
But
They flies.
More
Why is
likely
there
it
so
comes on
much
a boat,
saffron?
but
Yeah.
Too true, yes. It would come on a cargo ship.
Super tanker, just full of curry.
Just a cargo hold full of curry.
Yes.
But yes, I believe we have made all arrangements
Art was going to buy
for
two.
shopping. So
I think I'm gonna get a draft horse.
Art's gonna
Same.
buy two bags of caltrops. And
I could get a mastiff.
Is that to ride or?
Yeah, that's actually listed under the
yeah, Mastiff is.
Yeah.
after the as one of the mounts is a mastiff.
So one of you's going to have a war horse, and most of you are going to have horses, and one of you's going to be riding a rather large dog.
Yes.
He's gonna have
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Sedge's having
I
adorable.
am very tiny.
Yeah, Sedge is having a draft horse. He finds the riding horses to be unforgivably frail.
No, I won't actually get a mastiff. I just ride the carriage.
indeed. Should we, yes, shall we prepare for our next outing?
Indeed.
This castle
think-
filled with goblins.
Well,
With
by
a
the
long
Oh,
time,
rest,
yeah.
I think I'm ready.
by the time
Really
you're done
forgot
with,
about
by the time you're done with most of your expenditures, it's getting quite late in the evening. You'll probably end up wanting to stay the night before you depart in search of Cragmore Castle.
Sure thing.
The stone room's available at the Stonehill Inn where you stayed previously. You can just get a room for 2 silver a night. So,
All right.
to be honest, after you dropped a couple hundred gold asking him to acquire bowers, he'll probably just waive the fee, saying that yeah, you've already paid plenty of money up front.
I would hope so.
You can have yourselves a meal, get yourselves a good night's rest at the inn. The following morning, can prepare yourselves for travel.
To Cragmore.
Who did, Timo?
Some ruffians in Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah.
And then they went to the inn and spent all the
Yes.
like.
Yeah, I remember you
"Ah,
telling
let's-"
us about that.
That is one
Yeah.
hell of a fucking bender.
Yeah. Apparently they also spread it among other refugees. But still, that's like, yeah, we stole $30 million from you. It's okay. You're probably not that mad.
What is money?
God.
Good God.
If you manage to make 300,000 gold that easily, you can probably do it again, right?
I killed a fucking god.
I am mad, but I'm also kind of impressed that you managed to spend all that money that fast.
Yeah, like,
They have no economical sense.
yeah. And apparently it started with one guy betting it on dog races. All of it. Like, okay, I bet $30 million on dog racing and didn't realize you might get scammed.
Who the fuck took that bet?
Well, I'm already rich, but what if I spend it on all this on the worst odds, so I get it like triple,
Yeah.
quadrupled?
Then I go like, yeah, that's my money. Oh, sorry, I spent it in dog races. Well, that's you're gonna go to prison then because you stole all my money. No, I'll get it back. And then he's okay, I'll get it back. He leaves. I go outside of the castle I'm staying in, and he comes back. I had all of the money, but I was robbed. Like, okay, you walked through the streets of Baldur's Gate with $30 million in your pockets. You got robbed? Oh, that seems. No one understands the value of money here, do they?
Goodness gracious.
Like, you do realize there's probably more money than the entire rest of the city had.
Probably I did rob a few ancient tombs that were closed down for centuries.
Maintenance.
Anyway, we don't have 30,000 gold right now, so we should probably head to this
Make your way.
castle. Yeah.
That's true. We need even more mountains of money.
Yes.
Does Dreep have to come to the castle?
Is there
yes, I think so.
problem with you coming to the castle? Group?
Dreep doesn't like the king.
Well, we're probably gonna kill him, so.
You're also much stronger and braver than you were when you left the castle.
One of these is true.
He's like, I'm not brave.
He's definitely stabbier.
And he has armor now.
Yeah, that's why I said braver, because he's got armor.
If Droop come to castle, then Droop can be king?
Well, Droop has to consider if Droop wants to be the king of empty ruins with nothing in them.
He just sort of shrugs.
Think of your duties.
Yeah, I feel like this is a moment where Saroth should have a word with Droop.
I missed.
Out of character, I'm saying that.
I missed what happened.
Nothing is still a king.
He could be king of the castle, if it makes him feel better. If that's what he's saying.
I mean, not wrong, exactly. King of the castle.
I'm not really sure how ownership of the castle happens after we kill the quote-unquote king and all the goblins in the castle.
King of nothing is still a king.
Why settle for nothing when you could have everything?
You see, that's the motto of like every fucking necromancer ever, and they always get their asses kicked.
Well, that's their fault. I guess Droop can be the king if he wants to be the king.
You can give him the crown or whatever.
Birdman needs Droop to show him the way, doesn't he?
Would help, probably.
Yeah, ideally. I mean, though I'm up for, bashing in the front door if there's a better way in, or a better way to access it that won't get us ambushed quite as often on the way there. That's all to our advantage.
Droop suppose Droop can show the way. And then when Droop show Birdman the way, then Droop show Goblin the way.
I don't get it.
He's saying he shows Birdman the way to the castle, and then he shows the goblins how to overtake the castle. So he then becomes king of the goblins, king of the castle. If I'm reading that right.
What do you mean, so goblin the way group?
Birdman and Shiny Lizard show Droop that Goblin not have to be Goblin.
Oh, he's wanting to reform
Ooh.
them! This is adorable! This is out of character, but it's adorable!
Hmm.
I could see
Well.
Art saying that in character as well, actually.
I could
Yes.
see Art saying that in character as
Oh,
well.
that's
That's so
so cute.
adorable!
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's
will
so adorable.
will Droop be strong enough? Does Droop believe he's strong enough to do that?
He's like level 2 with player class levels, so he's like a god among goblins.
That is true. Isn't he like level 3?
Is he level?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he's level 3.
Yeah, we all leveled up.
Yeah. He fought a dragon. A
Yeah.
fucking
Then-
dragon. It's a
then,
goblin.
yeah. Then yeah, if he's got like 3 player class levels, then I don't know what the fuck any other goblin's supposed to do against him.
Soon there's a paladin order of goblins in a castle somewhere.
Like, unfortunately, most goblins are too stupid to be paladins, so.
Oh, right. I guess they have to be clerics then.
That'll probably work. Or shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Droop will get up into the cart and see, like, Droop will show you the way to the castle.
Yay!
And then
Do
we
you
kill
know the
the
way?
And then we kill the king. Yes. The old king. Because you'll be new king, right?
Shrugs again.
I'm very confused by this whole.
Go die first. Then Droop figure it out.
At least Droop has a short-term plan.
That's much better than the rest of us. To the castle. Da-da-da-da-da.
You will set off heading northward out of town of Marston. I told multiple times it's probably about 2 to 2.5 days to the northwest. I find the castle through the woods. Possibly a little bit less on horseback.
I
You
should
make
fucking
your
hope so.
make your way northward out of town, and then head off the main down a narrow trail and heading off into the forest. With Droop offering instructions to the route that he knows. I'll take you in the direction of the castle. So, who is riding out in front as the lead here?
Are we on our horses and carriage?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm assuming some of you are on your horses separately from the carriage.
Yeah, I imagine.
I'm guessing the carriage is near the rear. I'm on top of the carriage.
Yeah.
Droop's with you.
Well, I imagine then whoever has single horses, which I believe is Shej and Art, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, it could be Saroth, I guess. Saroth has a cat creature. Goat.
Magic cat. Magic cat.
Magic cat. Magic cat. Magic cat.
Yes. So, which one of you wishes to be in front of this horse convoy?
Oh, Art was going to be in the back.
That's probably gonna be Daroth and Sej. I don't know, what's Diera doing? Did Diera get a horse or is he taking the carriage?
I guess I could buy a horse. I just didn't really care. I was walking. I mean, I've got no skill or effectiveness or reason, to go with mount. So, but
Faster
I
travel speed.
yeah, I could have bought. I'll buy a. I guess I'll invest in a horse just so that I'm not the only one walking, slowing down the group.
Could be in
Well,
the
I mean, you can
carriage.
ride the carriage. There's plenty of
Which,
room there.
which, to be fair, would
Fair
fit
enough.
the son of a
Yeah,
son of
that's
a noble
fine.
family.
Yeah. It's got comfortable seats, and if you
Yeah.
want,
And there's security on
And-
the roof.
And yeah, to be
Yeah.
fair, if Ruin's driving the carriage, that means he's out on the front seat, which means the interior of the carriage is actually empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And security on the roof with Buck and Drew playing patty
No.
cakes.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll be sitting back in the carriage,
Enjoying yourself.
playing
Playing a tune.
Playing
Yes,
a traveling song.
playing my goddamn it, what was it? My flute of stuff. My
Flute of
I,
fuckery.
Your
All right,
God
so
no. Yeah,
Sarah,
well,
it
no,
looks
no,
like you.
it was a pan flute or
Yeah.
yeah, my magic pan flute.
It looks like you and me are up front, Saroth.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, people at the front, either each of you make for me perception checks as you ride off down the trail, or one of you do so with advantage.
Please do so with advantage.
Yep. Sounds good. There we go.
Help us travel, dear. I am.
You're making us feel better.
As you make your way out along the trail into the woods, you occasionally catch glimpses of creatures off the ways off the path. Occasionally see a couple wolves. Occasionally you see a bear off in the distance, most of them giving you a wide berth as, ride behind your horses and carriage. You travel for a good few hours out into the woods before it's like coming out to a clear area where the trees are less thick for a while. You see large swathes where many trees have been hewn and cut down for some purpose.
They're either clearing the area or they need fuel for some purpose. Quite a lot of it.
You see what seemed to have been felled are dozens, possibly even hundreds of trees cleared out. And some of them quite recently, at least within the past few days. To carry on riding, you can see the wood line appearing ahead of you toward the horizon. As you draw closer, the trees begin to grow thicker again. As you make your way further in, please perception checks again if you will.
Okay. Do, 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 do. All right then.
16 again. Right. You're traveling again for another couple hours, largely without incident. For a while, you see a tree fallen across the path ahead of you. Your horses easily would be able to clear it, but it would make a bit of trouble for the carriage.
We shall build a ramp. And ramp of it, no. Is the
Sounds
Ruin
right.
will, if you guys slow down in front, Ruin will ask if there is a problem. Problem ahead.
What is it that we saw? My brain just blanked completely.
The tree fallen across the trail that your horses could clear, but the carriage would have issues with.
I have a draft horse. Can it not pull the tree off the trail?
You
I'd
can
be
certainly
worried.
try to.
I'd be wary for ambush personally.
Mm.
Classic bandit trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I'm gonna look behind us to see if another tree just happens to fall behind us.
Yeah, no, let's all keep eye out.
On
Can
that,
I use nature to see if this has fallen naturally or if it's been
nature,
manipulated in some way?
or investigation if you want to have a look at the tree.
Nature measure.
You ride a little closer and have a quick look. The tree
I'm looking
itself,
for far away.
this particular tree that's fallen doesn't look to have been cut. The exposed area near the base of the tree and around the stump seems more charred and burned.
Could be magic.
Could also be lightning.
Yeah, of course.
Could also be magic lightning. So just
So, you do recall in the past couple of days there has been, at least on one day, there were quite heavy rains and stormy weather.
Yeah. So we've got. So the only logical conclusion is we've got a wizard bandit conjuring thunderstorms.
Well, fuck.
Who has laid this trap for us?
Clearly it's a trap. But yeah, no, can Sesh do as she asked, pull the tree off the road?
You can certainly try to.
Chath will help.
So, well, what?
Move the tree. Help. At least try and get that out of the way.
Go,
Any animal
guys.
handling to use the horse to move the tree?
Yeah. I'd say if you're getting help, you can roll with advantage.
Nice.
I believe in you.
Well, thank you for believing in us.
Hey, well, you take a couple of minutes to fashion up some ties between the tree and your mounts, and then you, with a little effort, manage to get your draft horse, and your magic cat to gradually pull the large tree out from across the trail, wide enough at least that your carriage could get through.
Carry on.
The path cleared, everyone can remount and make your way further on down the trail, continuing to head further north and east. So, you're right on for a little while, starting to get a bit further into the day, just a little past noon. I will ask you once again to roll for me a perception as you continue forth.
Perception. Not as good.
Oh. You're making your way along. You catch sight of something out of the corner of your eye as you're continuing along the trail. You haven't seen quite as many wild animals in the past few hours, but since you went past the large cleared out area. But something catches your eye for a moment. As you turn your head and look, you see what looks to be a small building just a little off the trail.
There is something there.
Something.
Building.
A building?
Yeah, we found the castle.
Too small.
No, castle much further on than this.
Hmm.
Drib come from castle. Castle not this soon.
Drip, do you know this building?
Drib not seen before.
Unless we want to spend the night there, and that's why it's our concern.
Sergi's gonna shrug.
Do they have undead or something walking around outside?
Can't see anything or anyone. Just see a little off the trail. It seems to be a small structure at the base of a hill.
Could be loot.
Wouldn't that just make us bandits?
Well, assuming there is anybody there. If it's abandoned, then finders keepers. But there might be other, like, if there are people, then they might know something about the area. Or something.
Going to shrug. Tactics aren't exactly his wheelhouse. He just pointed out the building because people seem to be concerned about things like that.
But fly up and scout.
Okay. Well, you said you're bat up ahead. Roll a quick perception for your bat for me.
Not very good.
Oh. Well,
I think he has a +1 or something.
I believe so. You see a small, squat-looking structure built up against the base of a hill. Looks like it's built partially into it. It doesn't look terribly large, maybe about 15 feet by 20. A small single-story structure. And you can see a small pool of water just out to the side of the building. And you can't see anybody around it.
I'm confused. I feel like this has been brought to our attention for a reason, but I don't know why.
I thought we were waiting to hear the reports of Timo's scouting bat.
Mm.
But it looks like there's nothing there.
Is that it? Well, then I guess we continue on.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, narrative logic suggests we should really check this out because it was specifically brought to our attention.
yeah,
But I can think of absolutely zero in-universe reason why we should do so.
yeah. That's the bit that's confusing me, because Sej has no driving imperative to go over there. But I feel like out of character.
It's entirely your decision.
Not, I guess it's
Mm.
like it feels like it would be metagaming if we went and checked out this house. Because all it has done is be a house and exist.
Well, I guess we could get intel from them
Yeah.
of the
I mean,
area.
it is a house that's relatively close to a goblin castle. So the bat saw just an ordinary house.
It's a small looking structure, larger than 15 by 20 feet, single story, small pool of water just to the side.
The bat could go inside and check it out, see, or at least kind of examine. Are there windows? Is there a door? Is it just a hole in the wall?
No, there's a door. Looks to be currently closed. Windows with shutters.
There's no like indication of dead bodies or human skins hanging from a washing line or anything like that.
None you can see.
In character, there's not really anything compelling us to go there.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's like even Sarah doesn't have nothing to really think about for the house. Because
Yeah.
especially since we're trying to get to the castle on good time anyway.
Yes, well, that's exactly my point. Essentially, this isn't even really a character motivation thing. Where well, technically is that no one would have any motivation here because nothing has actually been seen or is apparent to draw us to this house in any way, or to make us think outside of meta-narrative reasoning that this house is relevant.
Knock on the
Yeah.
door. Hello, I'm curious. Who lives here?
Please tell us, are you relevant to our quest to kill the goblins? But no, I think if Puck reports back that his bat just sees an ordinary looking structure with shuttered doors and windows and no indication that there's been a heinous murder or that there's some fucking necromancer or goblin king living there, then they're just probably going to shrug and move on, and I'm going to get mad at Altor when we invariably get stabbed in the back.
Or even just a bunch of weird magic shit or something, so that we get the impression that someone, some wizard or knowledgeable person lives here, or maybe a bunch of animal hides or something. Maybe, I don't know, a hunter lives here, and maybe he knows something. I don't fucking know, but a house with no distinguishing qualities has no reason for us to go there. We have seen tons and tons of houses with no distinguishing qualities while we were walking through the town. They just weren't mentioned because there's no point.
Indeed.
I guess we carry on then.
Make your way continuing further on down the trail. And traveling for a couple of hours, it's now getting on toward mid-afternoon. Perception, if you will, please. Assuming you heard me.
Yeah, I did. I just
Okay.
forgot where fucking perception was for a moment.
Okay. You continue on for another couple of hours, making your way further along. It's getting toward early evening now, and as you're making your way along the trail, still very few signs of animals as you're getting further and further to the northeast. Occasionally hear clips of bird song from amongst the trees, but very little other life besides that. And again, perception, if you will, please. It's getting into the evening.
Jesus Christ, this is getting worse and worse.
Maybe you're getting tired.
Fuck you, I'm getting tired.
You've been riding
There's just
for
nothing to see.
You've been riding for about 9 or 10 hours now. You're probably getting tired. As you'll continue on further, signs of life begin to pick up again a bit among the trees, seeing small animals. And again, just as you're riding along, you catch a glimpse, just in your periphery, a small structure built into the side of a hill.
Fucking house? Is the house following us?
Looks similar.
Maybe it's the Fae.
Possibly, we might be in some kind of. I was vaguely suspicious of this. I guess I should have actually mentioned it ahead of time. I was vaguely wondering if this exists only to forewarn us in the future when we get trapped in Groundhog Day.
Some weird loop. Yeah. As Serge is gonna stop and hold up his hand to stop the rest of the column, and he's going to look over towards the structure. Do I get a creeping sense of deja vu?
Definitely some familiarity from what you're seeing.
Some familiarity does not mean the exact same house, which is really what we're asking.
Is the
In the same patch of woods.
is the
Well,
terrain similar?
He said
around it?
this one's in the side of a hill.
Looking
So-
around, things aren't identical. The trees around you, their positioning as you're coming along the trail, there's different hedges and bushes. The area surrounding you is different. But the look of the actual structure and the hill that it's built into against the side of looks very similar to what you'd seen a few hours ago.
So the one we saw a few hours ago was built in the side of a hill, or near the side of a hill as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Sergi's going to make a noise that you've probably all come to identify as general lizard-like frustration, and he's going to point
Oh.
off into the distance, or through the trees at the building.
I thought it was the yell from the end of They Live.
That is
Pointing at the house.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That is the same.
I like being followed by a house.
And apparently the whole hillside as well.
Okay. We either refuse to acknowledge the house, and we just keep going. It'll eventually go away, or we confront it directly.
I don't know if I can do it from this distance, but do I recognize it as being anything magical?
You can roll an Arcana check if you like. So
I roll bad.
I'd give you advantage on this.
Okay, let me roll again.
I would Eldritch Sight, but I need to be closer.
Okay, that's slightly better.
It's another ways away, but there's definitely something distinct about it. This situation to you, Pod. Something you can't really quite put your finger on without closer inspection, but
It could be an illusion. Illusion. Time to go near it and investigate. Everyone, be careful. It might be an illusion.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Indeed.
Puck will march onwards like Saitama after he fought Xenos.
Yeah, well, if Pock says there's something odd going on, we
Yep.
should probably go and poke it.
Indeed.
All right. Do we knock on the door or subject it to the fireball test?
entirely your decision.
But it's an illusion. It could be an illusion. Could be Leomund's tiny hut, but could also be an illusion. Which I want to investigate.
All right. Get out of the coach. Let's go check out this illusion. See who is following us.
Indeed.
I'll turn on Eldritch Sight and approach the house.
Okay. Well, approaching the house, as you begin to draw closer, you're definitely detecting some signs of magic from around the structure.
Not surprising. And definitely not just a normal hut.
So to tell you what you are detecting traces of illusion,
Mm-hmm.
transmutation,
Mm-hmm.
conjuration, abjuration, evocation, and enchantment.
Isn't that literally all of them except necromancy?
No divination.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
All right. Well, that's an interesting house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This thing's extremely magical, so at this point I'm thinking some sort of extraplanar entity. But
Do I need to do another Arcana check? Or is that enough information?
Oh, and one other thing of note, you're also detecting some form of magic that you're not familiar with.
okay, redoubling my theory on extraplanar entity. What do you mean? We should probably. Oh crap! We can't. We should fuck off, run away, and leave this thing alone, but we can't. It's gonna keep following us. Be
Indeed.
trapped in this Groundhog Day of this goddamn forest.
Could be.
Okay, let's knock on the door and see if we can find the Fae or Great Old One or whatever it is.
One other thing, as you're getting closer, do a quick perception for me, anyone that wants to.
Perception?
Yes.
Sure thing.
Thulu, you let us go.
What you can see, and this is finish all of you that rolled, seems to be now to the wall beside the door of the structure seems to be a sign with what seems to be written in 15 different languages.
That's okay. I
Third.
can't read any of them.
That is a third element of confirmation as far as I'm concerned for extraplanar entity, but
This like TARDIS? Is this a Time Lord?
Well,
Living
at the top,
here.
at the very top of the sign are the words Seymour's Sophisticated Sundries.
Okay. It's a store.
okay, so I'm guessing either another Fae or an incredibly bored, like, level 18 wizard.
Yeah. And as I said, written in 15 languages beneath that, at least what you can read in the languages you know, states, if possessing an appointment, please call when appropriate. If not possessing an appointment, call when necessary.
Do we have an appointment?
Yes, we do. We have business. We do, because this hut won't leave us alone.
The hut keeps following us. Can you ask it to stop?
Can you please turn off your hut?
Well, either way, we either have an appointment, call when,
I mean,
we don't.
Seymour's Sundry sounds like the type of place that Pock would want to be because he wants specific magical items.
Oh god, maybe it's future Pock.
No! I did not become Seymour, no!
It's like, would you like to see more, Paul?
I'm sure Seymour's is one of your major many aliases. Also, you could make the pun of "Would you like to see more?"
Also, the thing is, if it said Pox paraphernalia on the door when we walked up, then you'd be like, no, we can't go here, there's future fuckery about.
Yes, we'll break the timeline.
Indeed. Whereas if future you wants us to really pay attention and to actually like come in here and not run away because we're afraid of the future timeline, you'll be like, Seymour Sundries, then they won't know it's me. Wah, ha, ha, ha.
It's just 3 kobolds in a jacket.
Hello? Seymour, or whoever is maintaining this establishment?
Hmm.
Knock, knock.
As you call out, you see some of the shutters on one of the windows bang open, and you'll see a set of eyes peering out at you for a moment. Then the door cracks open, and you see a frail-looking old man and sort of sticks his head out and looks around at all of you. Hello?
Greetings.
Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
Possibly. This hut seems to be following us.
Yeah, so we
Not
have...
very nice.
That doesn't sound like something it would do. You sure you're not following it?
We're quite sure. We have several witnesses.
This isn't Rokugan.
Some
We
are
don't need
witnesses.
multiple.
Oh wait.
Ruin is a samurai.
Ruin isn't. Yeah, Ruin is a samurai, so we have samurai witnesses. The best kind of witnesses.
You hear a bit of clanking, something fall to the ground inside as he seems to be hitting something like, how many times have I told you not to stalk random travelers? Anyway, you said you have an appointment?
Well, we had business. Your hut was following us, thus giving us business.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
If you have business, then you could be client?
Could be.
I suppose we are in a trade that makes esoteric goods and services frequently useful to us.
What was your name?
My name is Diero von Domine, and these are my friends.
Art's raising an eyebrow to Diero, even mentioning, like, even vaguely referencing her as a friend.
These are my friends, Ruin, Master Puck, Sej, Brother Saroth, Initiate Droop, and that's Art.
Ah, that's much better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he sort of
Sibo Antra.
he steps out a little more into the doorway and then sort of claps his hands together, and as he pulls them apart, a book appears in his hands open, and then he licks one of his thumbs, turns a couple of pages, like, To dear and party. Turns a couple more pages. Funny. You do have an appointment. I wasn't expecting you for another 2 days. Want that.
We have horses now.
That would do it. Slams the book shut again and disappears as he closes it. Well, I don't have a client right now. If I could move your appointment up if you would like to come inside.
Oh,
Sure.
Titan.
No, but at this point, Diero is very curious. This is clearly incredibly magical, and he needs to find out more, as much as he can, about this.
I'm sorry if it's a little messy and a little cramped. She's being a bit disagreeable right now.
She.
We get on the inside.
Well, we'll find out. I'm gonna walk inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
And if the hut eats me, then I'll roll up a new character while you guys clear out the castle.
He steps aside and ushers you in, and as you step inside the small 15 by 20 foot structure, you step into a room that is about 30 feet tall, more than double the structure on the outside,
It is bigger on the inside.
and it seems to be about 40 feet wide and goes back about 50 to 60 feet.
So it is bigger on the inside.
You can see a large, very much. You can see a large crystal chandelier hanging down in the center of the chamber with shelves and shelves lining most of the walls, and a large workbench in the center of the room, laid out with all kinds of tools and equipment, and a large counter at the back, which behind which there is a doorway with a curtain currently draped down across it. Yes, please do come in.
Says you'll follow inside.
Art's gonna be looking at everything.
Also, the arrow, as you're looking around, there's a lot of odd trinkets and mundane items, but a lot of things lining some of the shelves, lighting up to you like a Christmas tree.
Interesting. I recommend not touching anything while we're here.
No,
That's all the things.
I am a bit of a tinkerer, a collector. I do work for people, often on a commission and usually by an appointment basis. You had an appointment, so clearly you are here for something.
Yes. Refresh my memory as to the circumstances by which this appointment was made.
Yeah, he claps his hands and opens up the book again. Well, appointment requested by troop of adventurers. No name given for a group, just members. Original appointment reference dealing with a dragon, but now seems that is defunct.
Oh, you were supposed to help us with the dragon.
Reason is unspecified other than fitting requirements.
Fitting requirements.
Yes.
Our requirements right now is about to be clearing out a castle and finding a dwarf.
Our requirements are to try as best we can to understand just what this lovely businessman can offer us in achieving our goals now and future.
I can offer you all kinds of things for the right price. Obviously, I mean, some of these things are sort of laid away for customers that either need to collect or don't know they need them yet. I'll be honest, with some of them, I don't even know who needs them yet, but someone will. Probably.
Possibly.
What are you offering us?
If you'll please step up to the counter, then perhaps I can see what we have to show.
One at a time or all
Form a
together?
line.
That's what my next question I was about to say was one at a time or as a collective?
Come as you will.
Ooh.
All right, I'll go. I must understand all these magical artifacts.
Well, I have tomes, I have scrolls, I have weapons, I have armor, I have trinkets, I have.
I'll take them.
Can you afford them? I am running a for-profit business.
Possibly.
We can negotiate. How much do you want?
Depends upon the object.
I want them.
Whatever them is.
I want everything you are willing to sell me.
Okay.
This is an interesting and strange greedy side of Diero we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that how it works? Perhaps you need to know what you are buying before you can actually buy it. Before it
I'll
even exists.
ascertain that when it's presented to me. But I see what he has in store here. Some elements of it. There's so much. I want it. We're going to need it.
First of all, first and foremost, I have this. He reaches down underneath the counter and takes out what seems to be a small platinum coin and slaps it down on the counter in front of you.
My God.
My God, I've never seen anything as beautiful.
This is a bucket.
Take it.
Platinum coin?
Yes.
I'm curious to see if Diero goes to take it.
Is it cursed? So
Nah.
I've still got my Eldritch Sight on.
It's magical. Certainly. Can't tell if it's cursed or not.
Does it come with instructions?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna risk it. I'm going to pick up the coin, and then I'm gonna see if I can drop it onto the countertop.
Okay. You grab the coin, and then as you go to drop it, it's not in your hand.
Whoa.
Disappearing coin.
This item seems to be of limited utility, but it's intriguing.
Well, it's your problem now.
Well, lovely. What else do you have, huh?
Well, in terms of things that might be of interest,
Puck will also show a platinum coin in his hand, place it on the table, and it vanishes from the table. I can do that trick too.
I like you.
Art's just waiting her turn.
This is an interesting one. He pulls out a small, looks like iron ball and puts it down on the counter.
Ooh,
Elder
that
Sight
looks
test, huh?
cool. What does it do? What does it do?
A bit of transmutation and enchantment involved in this. Now, if you would like a trick demonstration, do we have any volunteers?
Ruin will step up.
Okay. Well, he picks up the ball and then holds it out towards you and he's like, manners. and then pushes it up against your chest, and the orb seems to just unfurl into a almost spider-like cage that wraps itself and contorts around your limbs, trapping you and forcing you onto your knees with your arms behind you.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Can I force myself out of it?
You can try. Roll strength or athletics.
Okay. No, I will break it tonight to bite because I broke it.
Well, you struggle against it, and you seem to be able to move your arms a bit apart before the iron restraints binding your limbs force your arms back together behind you again.
Well, I'll be.
Ooh.
Very good. Very good little contraption. Very good at dealing with tricksy individuals or people that you don't want to be moving too much.
That is very cool. Very cool. That one I can't do.
Only requires
Yes.
only requires a password, can be determined by the user, and the password once again will remove the bindings. And so,
Ruin, say manners.
Manners?
one of the things about you being restricted is it has also gagged your jaw shut.
Oh.
Ah, I thought this was a real city, like you say the password and then the other
How-
person goes like,
how-
oh, that's useful.
Holy
Password.
crap! How do Warforged vocalize sounds?
That's a good question.
I mean, they don't have lungs. Presumably, it is
Yeah.
generated somewhere inside their mouth.
Exactly. So therefore, they wouldn't need to open their mouths to do it because they're not actually, pushing air through vocal cords and their tongues and through their teeth and all that.
This is also magical. It may very well be silencing him.
Yeah.
We'll just assume
fair
it
enough.
works.
Yeah.
He'll just place his hand up against your chest again and say, "Manners." And the restraints will slowly recoil back into the small orb, which he then places back on the counter.
Ooh.
We want it.
For the right buyer, it's only 1,000 gold.
What?
Give you 10.
Gold? Oh, 10,000.
Mm. I promise you 10 gold that'll feel like it was worth 10,000.
You're trying to trick me.
Do I look like the sort of person that would do that?
Yes.
You're a very smart shopkeeper, and that's why I know you'll see a good deal when it's offered.
Prices may be negotiable, but they're not negotiable that much. Unless you have
All
something
right.
to barter.
All right. 20 gold. You twisted my arm.
Just picks up the orb and goes to put it back underneath the counter.
Oh.
We are nowhere near 1,000 gold. Maybe both together, but I don't think that's worth 1,000
I have
gold.
1,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, I had 1,000 gold at the beginning of the session until I spelled it all on booze.
Oh, yeah, you guys haven't been spending it all on spell components like me, so.
Exactly. So,
I
yeah,
have
we.
1,000,
Go.
but Saj is A, looking around at all the various other things in the area and isn't really paying attention, and B, I out of character don't want to spend all of my gold on one thing. If you can
Yeah,
negotiate a better price, however, I'm willing to offer some money to help you.
Master Seymour, perhaps before we put any of these articles away, perhaps show us others, and then we will make a decision on which we will find most suitable for our purposes.
Sure. I have this little thing. He pulls out a wand. Like, not necessarily very helpful, but very good for parties. And he, his head gives it a little wave and then points it at Droop. And after a moment, you notice Droop is now just grinning broadly and his eyes are looking a bit horrified because he doesn't seem to be able to stop. Guaranteed to make anybody feel happier because it makes them smile uncontrollably.
I
Can
say,
they
Does
speak?
it actually make them happy or just force them to smile?
seems like it just forces them to smile.
Yes. Can they? Well, presumably, if they are smiling, they cannot be talking.
Not easily, you'd think.
Effects may vary, but only last for a few minutes. We also
But there
have
is. Go on.
I have these. He pulls out what seems to be a leather belt, puts it down on the counter. Make any person that wears it the sturdiest they can be.
This seems like a trap, but okay, huh?
Also might cause you to spontaneously grow facial hair.
Well, that's out for me.
Sturdiness. I see. Can we try it on?
You're welcome to. My guess is it turns into a dwarf.
Oh, I want to say this.
It's something that I believe, let me double check, you would have to attune to, so you'd have to put it on and wear it for a good half an hour.
Okay, then maybe not.
We have this pair of very fine boots. And takes them out and puts them down on the counter. Very good at muffling noise, make you extra quiet.
How quiet? And in what manner? Does it make the steps quiet or does it make you entirely quiet?
Magically muffles the noise you make. Don't
All
ask me how it's
noise?
magical.
All noise or just the footsteps? Does it prevent you from speaking? Well, does it prevent you from being heard speaking?
Young Master Pock, largely these boots will make it so that no matter how noisy you wish to tread, you will not be heard. Beyond that, if you decide to start screaming, it probably won't help.
Ah, that's good to know.
Fascinating.
How much are these boots?
These boots would put you back about 560 gold pieces.
Hoo-hoo.
The belt would be 450.
See, so
Takes out a small leather pouch, rectangular, and then puts that down on the counter. Takes this. Very, very magical. I did have another deck of cards. Unfortunately, I misplaced them. These ones, however, not nearly as dangerous.
Ooh, it's the deck of many things. Woo.
No, I lost those.
That's...
Or someone stole them.
This is the deck of some things.
Yeah, not that many. Few things.
This deck, you could choose to draw cards from it and then summon illusionary creatures to serve your will. Obviously, they are illusionary. They cannot actually use to harm anyone or anything, but they make great distractions.
How many and how often?
Well, the deck has. Let me check. Uh, 11 cards in it. Unfortunately, whenever you use a card, it is lost. It used to be bigger. Oh.
So we have, at this point, magic mantles.
I put up a list in the Discord.
Okay.
Well, you called it about to sturdiness. That's not necessarily what it is. I also have these other boots. Very interesting, very rare, much more pricey.
What did the belt of sturdiness do?
Makes you the sturdiest you can be, but may cause you to grow facial hair.
Has side effects, growing hair in weird places. You have to speak extra languages sometimes, and you can see better.
Oh god, it
Definitely
makes you a dwarf.
orcs. Yeah.
That was what I predicted.
Belt of dwarfiness.
Mm. Well, I believe you get the qualities of dwarf, but it doesn't actually turn you into a dwarf. But still, about these other boots.
Very rare, very. I like them. I've had several interested parties, never willing to really barter the right price. These make you go fast.
Speed.
What's that speed?
Not just speed, my friend. You can move fast. These things would set you back 850 gold, but when wearing them, one quick click of the feet together and you move with swiftness.
850.
Then, let's see. Here. And last but not least, I have this. He takes out a small pouch and puts it down. That's all I can offer at the moment, but if you happen to find me or have another appointment in future, there could always be more. This is
in the pouch.
dust. This is dust of deliciousness. Anybody that were to consume some of the dust makes fruit, whatever you happen to eat it with, taste like the most marvelous, most delicious thing you have ever consumed. Also makes you a bit foolish for a while afterward. Oh, and before I forget, I have this amulet.
Amulet.
Very good for a man who likes his ale. Or woman. I think very good for anyone that likes their ale.
What does it do?
Particularly while wearing this amulet, if you like to have a drink, and for the looks of some of you, you might really like your drink, I'm really not sure, you would become healthier through the act of consuming alcohol.
Out of character, that's a dwarf's best friend.
Any purchases of 750 gold or more, I throw in this free rock.
Look at the rock.
Yes.
Well, with this rock, if you apply it directly in the back of head of unpleasant person, it will be very effective.
Yes, it
What are
kills
you
them.
talking about? This rock basically can be held onto by one person, but when they hold it, it actually just sort of tries to orbit their head constantly. And then while they're utilizing it, they can, well, manipulate more magics.
It orbits your head and then you can use more magic.
Yes.
And this was if we bought enough stuff worth of how much money?
You know, I forget. 750 or more.
750 comes free. 750 GP spent. Okay.
Does the boots of haste actually give you haste? The
Yes.
effect of the spell haste.
For up to 1 minute per day.
Oh, Jesus, we need those boots.
Yeah.
We need
Now,
those boots so much.
what sort of items would you take in trade?
Can we get like several different copies of these boots?
I only have the one.
Mm.
I only ever managed to make the one. Most that I tried ended up just having the reverse effect, and people didn't really like moving slower.
I can imagine why.
Except for one man. I did manage to make them better than I expected, and he moved a bit too quickly.
In two
We need-
directions at a time?
No, decapitated himself on a sign.
Right.
Ooh.
But yes, my
Yeah.
question was, what sort of items do you take in trade? Or,
I take
barter.
money, I take things of an arcane interest. If you have any items yourself that you are no longer requiring. To speak of the rest of the prices, though, the Wonder Smiling, that is, or Wonder Smiles, that's simple. It's a party trick. I'd pass, that'd be about 100 gold. For the deck of cards, unfortunately, it's emptier, much emptier than I would like. Unfortunately, people used it and returned it. They kept using cards. That would probably be about 450 gold for the dust. That has 5 uses in the pouch. That would be 300 gold for the amulet, 400 gold, and as I said, the rock comes with good business partners.
We are giving this guy all of our money.
No, I believe so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Buck is actually going to go into his pouch and take the hilt of the broken blade out and say, you seem to be very invested in these arcane arts. Can you tell more about this item than what I've been able to discover so far?
Where did you find this?
We
In the wall with the dragon.
Yeah, it was in a wall near a dragon's nest.
He sort of reaches out, takes it carefully from you, and then sort of lifts it up, sniffs along it deeply, and then sticks out his tongue and licks the blade a little.
Oh, disgusting. Fucking
Interesting.
organics.
Well, very interesting blade, very old. A shame that you don't have the rest of it.
No, sadly, we didn't find any more of it there.
Certainly could be quite a potent weapon if it could be restored, though would be difficult. Would certainly need some sort of master smith knowledge of brilliant arcane magics and forging.
You seem like a capable person. I'm sure you could accomplish such a feat.
I need the rest of the blade. You cannot
Mm.
really reforge a weapon without it.
You seem like a highly capable person. I'm sure, with the right motivation and time, you'll get the rest of the blade eventually.
I cannot vote.
But you need to start somewhere.
Unless you
Mm.
could give us means to track down the rest of the blade.
Or that.
Well, that could cost extra. And sits down the hilt on the counter in front of you, then sort of claps his hands together, and now a different tome appears in his hands and sort of flips through a few pages. Let's see. Puts the tome down in front of him by the blade, and then sort of lets his eyes roll back for a moment as he seems to concentrate on something.
This is magic happening right in front of us. This is so cool. Isn't it cool, Dero? It's so cool.
Tricky. Don't touch that. You see droop off to like one side, sort of still smiling, then sort of like reaching up toward one of the shelves, and then sort of pauses and sinks away.
No, Droop. Then you do not mess with wizard things.
Wow, that is. A blade broken into. Hilt with the child, but the blade with the mother. Fascinating. Well, it's not anywhere close. I would judge 400 miles, give or take, to the north.
Oh, somebody write this down.
Maybe 500.
What did you say? Something about the mother?
Blade in twain. Hilt with the child, blade with the mother.
Hilt with the child, blade with the mother. Okay.
Oh god, there's a mother dragon.
Oh, good call. That's a good call. We killed it. It's good.
Yeah, we're staying away from that for a while.
Yeah, maybe in 10 levels we can consider it.
No. Take the numbers up. 500 miles from Marston or so. If we are in that area, we can ask around for dragon.
We're 6 people. I think we could take it on around like level 12, but maybe I'm being optimistic.
Depends if it's adult or ancient.
Oh yeah.
Hard to pinpoint location, but beyond the Cadron Mountain. Somewhere.
Can we have the world map back so we can see?
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it
Is it pinned?
Nah, there isn't. I would imagine it could be a handout.
That is basically that. Briefly, I will also see if I have this somewhere.
We are in
Marston.
Marston. Yeah. And I hope it's these mountains and not these ones.
No,
I'm
it's probably
presuming it's
The
these
Cadron
ones.
Mountain Range is the one at the northernmost point of Armengar.
Yeah. So it's theirs.
So it's outside of Armengar. Because he said beyond the mountains.
Yeah, somewhere there. Either way, yeah, it's not gonna be tomorrow thing to do.
We'll go and fuck off out there tomorrow. Just dragon!
Hey,
Mm.
any of you want to show him the box?
Ooh, the box.
Oh, you want
Let's show
Art?
him the box.
You want Art to show him the box?
He might be interested. He might be able to tell us what the fuck it is.
He might be quite interested in it.
It might be possible.
So I will go ahead and throw this in here.
Oh my god. Ooh, look at that map. Gadran Mountains, yeah. Kalana Isles.
More open message.
It's a slightly
Oh,
better
yeah.
looking map, I think.
It is.
I'm still updating it and making slight alterations and changes, but that is basically Ramen.
Okay. But I mean, Art could show him the cube.
Yeah.
Probably won't be selling it to him, so.
Yeah, but we'll show him. Maybe he can tell us something about it.
He might be interested in it. I mean, Art can pull out the box that's been relocked and unlock it again.
You see his eyebrows go up for a moment before returning to their normal position. Where did you get this?
Dragon.
Dragon.
Yep. Same place.
Dragon, you say? Well, you know what this is?
We had suspicions.
Not entirely. Pock had an idea. I'm carrying it around because it's locked. But I want to push the button, but I'm not allowed to touch the button.
Which button?
I'm assuming that's a button. She's gonna point at the gold speck.
Yeah, Pock is gonna get his finger. This button here. No.
She's pointing at it. She's not touching it. I'm not allowed to touch it.
Well, as you go ahead and you look at the cube and go to point, there isn't a gold speck in the same spot.
Nani.
There are now 4, and the cube is no longer in 5x5 segments on each facing.
Oh,
It
lovely.
is now 7x7.
Well,
Getting bigger.
it's getting bigger.
It's getting more. Is it getting bigger or just more complicated?
More complicated.
The size has not changed.
It's becoming more complex.
The configuration has.
Ooh.
If
It's
you
too simple to solve before.
if you wanted to press a button, well then I would start with meeny, miny, that one.
Is he pushing the
There
button?
you go.
He's pushing the button.
Oh boy.
No.
So
Hope he knows what
he
he's
presses
doing.
down in the gold segment and it indents slightly into it. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I guess you need to complete the sequence.
It seems to be some kind of a container of what we do not know.
He sort of removes his finger and then sort of carefully lifts it up and sort of turns it back and forth, examining it from all sides, and then sort of puts it back down. A container of sorts, maybe. I'll admit I am curious. But I shouldn't play with this.
Yes, that was what we came to.
It is a container, but it's curious. Much the same way as my little home here is semi-extra planar, and he does that. He sort of lifts his fingers up for sort of, quotations. semi-extraplanar in that I have caused all sorts of enchantment on this place so that it is larger on the inside and suddenly appears small and humble. I used to own towers. Towers are bad. Dragons love towers.
Hmm.
Now I live in a hut, where everyone thinks I do.
Do you recognize the letter? I believe there was a big R in
R.
gold or something. Yeah.
Are inscribed on the top in gold on the crimson velvet padding.
Ah. Well, I mean, many people have had the initial ah.
True, but not that many people have a magical cube
Very astute.
that start with R. But we understand if it is not in your purview.
Nothing necessarily springs to mind, but it's something that if I had an interest, I would probably have to do a little more digging. However, this such cube is very much extraplanar. I suspect that it contains one or possibly several planar dimensions within it.
Do you caution us not to complete the sequence?
Oh, I never caution anything.
Mm.
Life's less fun that way. Well, actually,
Indeed.
that's not true. I caution some things. Don't live in towers. Never go to the theater.
Dragons love towers, and that's.
Don't live in towers and never go to the theater, no matter how many times someone tries to invite you.
What if you build your tower underground so only the top 6 feet are above ground?
Where do you think I live? Well, it's extraplanar, one or many pocket dimensions. Presumably by pressing down on indicated slits and then pushes down on two of the gold tips at the same time and starts rotating slowly one of the facings. If you were to try to complete some sort of configuration by rotating segments around themselves, you might unlock things, and then he lets go of it and it springs back into the original position and then places it back down. But I don't want to meddle, it's not mine.
Well, not yet.
Indeed.
Anyway, yeah. So I have 655 gold at the moment.
I have 470, but I'd like to use it for more spells.
1,000 gold and is not paying attention to anything at all.
Well, there are stuff that I think are really valuable. Obviously, both the boots are really good.
Also, Hellion, I think I said it was 300 for the delicious, and it's not 5.
Yeah, it was 3.
I must have heard wrong. I apologize. 3 hundos. Very good.
With the Vanishing Platinum coin, it's a coin that now Diaro has.
I think. I don't actually know anymore.
It might come up when you least expect it. Magical restraints are pretty good, considering not even Druin was able to break out of them.
Oh no, those things are like they cost a fucking fortune, but that does actually seem potentially incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And there was no save against it either, so
There,
you could just
there
press
was
it
a
against.
save.
Oh, there was.
You
Fair enough.
volunteered.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. What's the save
Yeah,
though?
I think you need to do a touch attack, I guess.
If we buy it, I guess. Well, we could ask for another demonstration, but this time, do it and without him volunteering to just sit there and take it. So,
For another demonstration.
Indeed.
we need to fully under. This is a very. You want a lot of gold for this product. We need to thoroughly understand it. So.
So lift it back up again. Raise it up. Gently kisses it, says manners, and then throws it past all of you.
My God.
All right. So, how does Droop save?
Droop actually sees it coming at the last second and quickly dives out of the way as it clatters
Okay.
across the floor next to him.
So it is Dex save, I think.
Dexterity saving throw. You can use it as touch, or you can throw it at your target.
We don't know what
What's
the TN is, so let's throw it at Droop a few more times so we figure it out.
Oh. Okay, that's fine. No. Fetch it, throws it again, and Droop will once again try and dodge and succeeds, and tries
Okay.
again, and on the third time gets hit with it right in the chest and then gets restrained.
I'm gonna guess it's 15.
Yeah, around 15.
I feel
Thank you,
this
Droop.
was a bit necessary. Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
should probably
Droop.
get
You've
him
been very
something good
helpful.
for that. Yeah.
And you see Droop is now sort of hogtied by metal restraints on the floor and just going.
Could you unbind him, please?
Manners, and raises his hand as his head, and the orb just hops straight back to his hand.
Yep.
Poor Drew.
Oh, do we want to try and sell that mirror to him? The one that is cursed, or has the people looking into it and they can't look away?
Oh, Diarra's charm mirror.
Yeah. Or does he want to keep it?
I mean, I kind of like it, but
In that case, don't worry about it. But yeah, no, 600 gold, 650 gold from Ruin. Says had 1,000, yeah?
Yep.
how much did we hand out at the start of this session? I'll let I forget.
It wasn't at the start of the session. It was the session before we took the little.
Yeah, it was mentioned.
Without leading or selling things, the split was 100 gold, 10 EP, 190 SP, 241 copper with 2 EP and 4 copper going to Droop. And then another
Okay, no,
141 gold.
No, okay, my thing's accurate. Yeah, I've got 743 gold and some irrelevant amount of silver and copper.
Yeah.
Because so my thing is accurate. I spent a shitload of my money on my armor, which then turned out to be irrelevant, so.
Yeah.
Because I got magic armor.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Piero has 750, was it?
Thereabouts. Plus, what was it? I mean, if he'll take my old armor.
Is
I
it
don't
magical?
think it's magical.
It is not. You can't have my magical armor.
Yeah, then I don't think he's interested.
I could give you 2 gold for it.
pretty sure I can get a better deal than that.
You're lost.
But if Druin, Dero, and Chase put their money together, we have 1,500. Does Art want to participate?
In the grand destruction of our
Sarath?
finances.
Yeah, Saroth. Yeah, I forget. I wanted to say Chariot, but no, it's Saroth. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that are actually good cost the most. The rest are debatable or unknown. Like the magical restraints and the boots of haste, most definitely. That is fucking insane.
Yeah.
The quietness boots are pretty good too.
That's
for
true.
Sneaking.
Yeah, that's fair. But still, boots of haste. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
We stick that on Ruin and like God.
Well,
We have a freight train.
any melee character.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it is probably, I fucking hate saying it, but it is probably better on Ruin or
Saroth.
Seraph than me, because I can only do like my blade flourish thing once a turn, regardless of how many attacks I get.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Art would like the Boots of Quietness.
Although I don't know, I do hit pretty hard, but not as hard as Ruin.
I think of anybody in the group, Art probably has the best idea of how much money Saj has.
Probably.
Yeah. Does Art want to spend? And I don't think we've heard of Sarath.
I don't think we heard from Sarath. I'm
here. What do you need?
I'm debating.
I'm wondering what your wealth is like.
Yeah, and if you wanted to spend any of it on these items.
I do have a lot of money. The problem is that what I'm saving for also costs a lot of money.
True.
Yeah, plate armor.
Yeah, that's true.
Blade is expensive.
How
That's
much
true.
is plate armor?
1,500
A lot.
gold.
Yeah, that's its most expensive thing on the player's handbook.
How much does Art have?
Quite a bit.
Around. Quite a bit.
Around quite a bit.
All the money that she didn't share with us.
No,
Yeah.
she has been sharing. I've been doing things very equally. She also just finds things that she sticks in her pocket.
Yeah, occasionally.
Not a whole lot. But you guys have been buying a lot of stuff. Art hasn't.
Yeah.
Before I bought my horse, I had over 1,400 gold.
Ooh.
And I still have probably about 14. Technically, I have more than that because I have like things that have a value to them. I just haven't ever sold them. I'm just like looking at the things, and I'm not. The magical restraints would be nice. I'm not sure what haste does.
Quietness.
I'm not sure what haste does, so I can't say.
Also, I was wrong. If says Diarro and Ruin put their money together, we have 2,400 gold.
Okay, let me read what haste does.
Doubles your speed and grants you an extra action.
And advantage on deck saves, and like 2 or 3
Plus
other things
2
that
AC.
barely. Yes, like a couple other things that barely matter compared to you get to move twice as fast and get an extra action.
Yeah. So with Ruin, it would mean that he would have. Well, currently he has 2 attacks every time he attacks.
Yep.
And action search for another attack. So that's like 4 attacks.
Yep. And plus 2
then,
AC.
Yeah. And with the boots, he would have 1 more action which he could make to attack, which is 6 attacks total.
Yeah, so basically it's once per day cast of 3rd level mage spell.
incredibly good, like one of the best level 3
Yeah,
mage
like
spells.
top
It's up there with
3 level
Fireball.
3 mage spells.
Like
Well,
I would
top
put
4 probably.
it's up there. Like I'd probably top. I would put top 3. I feel like mage 3rd level. It's Fireball, Haste, and Counterspell are the
Yeah,
biggest hitters of the 3rd level mage spells.
yeah. Well, there are stuff like slow and
Slow's good, but Haste is better.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that depends. If you're fighting 6 enemies, slow is pretty good at taking all of them down, especially if they're mages.
Well,
Oh, I
either
guess that's
way,
true.
if we take the Boots of Haste and the magical restraints, we still would have 550 gold.
Well,
three of
there's
us.
the Boots of Quietness also, which is 560.
Would there be anything else that we would want?
The rest of them, I don't know. I don't think so. The
Well-
sturdiness is what you can be knocked down, knocked over.
No, I
Well,
believe that just makes
pushed.
you a dwarf. Well, gives you the
I
qualities
called
of
it
a
a
dwarf.
belt that makes you the sturdiest. It's not a belt that makes you sturdy.
The sturdiest. Okay.
He
I
doesn't.
can, if you watch, I can actually relay a few of these more specific effects about some of these items.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So, the Wand of Smiles makes you smile. Basically, all there is to it. I think it takes a charisma saving throw. The Belt of Sturdiness is in fact a belt of dwarven kind. Increases your constitution by 2
Permanently?
while you're wearing it.
Ooh, that's really good too.
Have advantage on charisma persuasion checks when interacting with dwarves.
Okay.
You have a 30% chance each day at dawn of growing a full beard if you are capable of growing one.
So if you're
I
a
already
woman,
have a beard.
so if you're a tiefling female like I am, nothing would
They probably
happen.
wouldn't do that.
Hmm.
You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. You have
That's-
dark vision out to a range of 60 feet, and you can speak, read, and write Dwarvish.
That's not bad.
Oh, that's really good too.
What if you already have a poison resistance? Do you double up and become immune to poison? Okay.
I don't
Fair
think
Does
so.
it affect your hit points?
Yes.
Ooh.
If your constitution score goes up, your hit points go up.
Does it push Constitution past 20?
No.
Okay.
Increased by 2 to a maximum of 20. You cannot go beyond that except through very specific magical means.
Okay. So not this magic means.
The Boots of Quietness, more commonly referred to as Boots of Elven Kind, quite specifically give you advantage on any dexterity stealth check that rely on moving quietly.
Nice.
That's really good. Yeah,
Pretty
turns
good.
out the Belt of Sturdiness is amazing.
What is it?
Dwarven kind.
Dwarven kind, +2 Constitution while wearing.
50%.
Holy crap!
50%
Does it-
chance at dawn to grow a full beard if you're capable of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we either give it to someone who can't grow a beard, or
Hi.
Pork who has a beard.
I guess, yeah. So
Well,
we probably give it to
it also-
people who are going to get hit more
So
often.
the extra note of that is if it grows a full beard if you are capable of growing one, or visibly thicker if you already do.
Ooh.
Think of it.
He's gonna have a magnificent beard.
Saroth says art can't grow a beard. So
I don't know. I think Ruin would start growing one, but it would just be made out of wood or metal. Just slowly starts extending his jaw down with sort of, metal chains.
That'll raise questions because I'm not sure if any of you outside of Puck knows he's a Warforged yet.
We'll paint them in a weird color.
I
Yeah,
don't think any of us know where you're Warforged, but I'm pretty sure we've been trapped here for a while. We'd be pretty fucking suspicious and know that something's up with you. We just don't really care to ask.
You never
don't
sleep
sleep
or
or
eat.
eat.
Yes.
Well, you
It's
don't
like
see
you're
him sleep
basic.
or eat.
You are
Yeah.
Alphonse. Everyone has noticed that you never have any food when everyone else does.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other benefits is you get advantage on charisma persuasion checks with dwarves. You
Resistance
get
to
the
poison.
advantage and resistance against poison, dark vision up to 60 feet, and you can speak, read, and write in dwarvish.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
Could
boots
be
are-
good for people without dark vision also.
we want this belt.
Yep,
Yeah.
the boots just give advantage on dexterity checks. The other ones literally grant you haste for 1 minute. After you click the heels together, you can click them together again to cease the effect.
Ooh. So it's 1 minute per day, and you can use it multiple times. Oh, is it one use and up to a minute?
No, you can use it multiple times a day, but only for up to a minute.
Total. Okay, that's really good too.
Mm.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's what.
Mhm.
Oh crap. Mhm.
I would
You
want
need
the
to buy
boots
all
and
of
the
this.
That's
belt.
12. That's 12 rounds. 12 rounds of haste. That doesn't
Yeah.
have to be consecutive.
Yeah.
Isn't 10 rounds?
10 rounds. 6-minute
10
rounds.
rounds.
Is it? It's 6
I
seconds.
don't
Okay,
go
whatever.
there to
6
6
second
seconds,
rounds.
but
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Generally.
whatever. 10 rounds, still amazing.
The deck of cards, as I said, was a deck of illusions. You can choose to draw a card and place it on the ground. It will summon a illusionary creature on the spot where you place the card.
The relevant thing is at 10 or 12 is that it doesn't have to be consecutive. It's that
Yeah.
you go this combat lasted like 3 rounds. Turn it off. Now I've still got 7 stored for later.
The Dust of Deliciousness makes any food that you add it to the most delicious thing you have ever tasted. Will also grant disadvantage on all wisdom saving throws.
After eating.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a useful poison for certain things, but not super critical. But if there's no save against that effect, then it makes a pretty decent poison in terms of disabling an enemy who we're going to target with certain spells. That
If you consume it, you're just affected. There is no save if you ingest it.
Mm.
Whereas if you decided to try and pocket sand someone with it, well, they might get a save, but if they fail, then same effect.
Gonna be amazing for that one really good hypnotic pattern.
The Amulet of Alcohol Consumption is otherwise known as an Amulet of the Drunkard.
Does it, when you wear it, you automatically consume large amounts of alcohol when you are drunk?
Oh, but it goes great with the belt of Dwarven Kind.
Indeed.
I just need to quickly find the effect of it again, wherever it's up to. This is in a different book. Magic. 265. The Amulet of the Drunkard. While wearing it, you regain 44 plus 4 hit points when you drink a pint of beer, ale, mead, or wine. Once the amulet is restored hit points in this way, it cannot do so until the next dawn.
4d4.
44 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4.
So potentially up to 20 hit points.
Yeah.
14.
Average of
14.
Yeah.
Yep. 8 to 20, and yeah, average of like 14.
Not bad.
Give you more context on the restraints. These are called the Iron Bands of Belaro. And the way I demonstrated them is slightly different to how they work. They do in fact require a dexterity ranged attack. After speaking a command word on a successful hit, the creature becomes restrained, requiring... Remember what you actually rolled on me.
I rolled a 22.
Yeah. A DC 25 strength check to break them. On a
Are
success,
they destroyed?
the item is destroyed and the creature is freed.
Mm.
Ooh.
How long does the
If
penalty from Dust of Deliciousness last?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Holy crap.
If the check to break out of the restraints fails, any further attempts made by that creature automatically fail until 24 hours have elapsed.
Holy
Ooh.
crap. Is there a size limit on how big this thing can restrain?
Huge.
Huge.
But if the TN is 25,
How huge is huge?
What's
Huge
like...
is I think ogre sized.
Okay. So yeah, no dragons, but almost anything else.
can we
Or
restrain
giants.
parts of dragons?
Mm,
No, because that's to be able to try and restrain the entire creature.
Okay, fair enough.
proficiency at level 5 is +3.
And
so...
one of the other effects of them, though, wasn't being used for the demonstration. Is once used, they cannot be used again until the next dawn. For demonstration purposes, I was kind of breaking that.
Fair
yeah,
enough. It's a magic shop, so who
Yeah.
cares?
Although, thing about the bonds, I just realized.
Mm?
The initial thing to not get hit by them is a dexterity save, right?
No, it's a dexterity attack against AC.
Yeah. Okay, but
Against
they
the-
just
yeah.
okay, and then if it goes on, they automatically hit. They don't get a save against it.
Nope.
No.
Their
And
save is to try and break it, and if they fail to break out, they are
Which
just
is a-
stuck that way for a
Which
day.
is not a strength save; it's a strength ability check, right?
Yes,
So it is affected by hex.
technically yes.
Exactly.
Okay, well, could be a good combo.
So,
And you need like strength 20 and still to roll like a 17 if you are proficient and level 5.
6,
So
7, 8, 9, 10.
mm,
so how much money does each person have? Again?
Says Druin and Diero together we had 2,400.
But each individual person slightly varies.
Yes.
yeah.
Says has 1,000. Druin has 600, 650, and Diero has 750.
But we need a lot of these items.
Yeah.
Do we
I'm
really? Do we want? I know you guys want the boots. Art wants the sneaky boots. She also wouldn't mind the dwarf belt. And you guys want the restraints.
Yeah, so that's almost 3,000.
It's 2830. I've totaled it all up already.
Yeah.
Are we sure tieflings can't grow beards?
They can grow beards.
Females.
Are we sure women
female.
can't grow beards?
Yeah.
Female.
Well, when you get old, you'll find out that.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Man, did I
Women do have the ability to grow beards. It's just
The head of the
simply a
bearded
matter.
lady.
Well, it's just simply a matter of balancing hormones. So in
Mm.
that regard, there are hair follicles on the face of
Yeah.
female humans.
Exactly. So
But
that's why I was.
is there on
I mean,
tieflings?
That's
Well,
open for
that's-
debate later. We'll worry about it
I
then.
see art of male tieflings with like goatees and things like that. So I presume, at least from a general community standpoint, there's an understanding that tieflings have facial hair follicles.
I'd probably generally say that women probably won't grow beards as a result of the belt, though.
Yeah.
Or like instead of it being a 50% chance, you'd literally basically be a 1% chance.
I guess the relevant question is: do female dwarves have beards in this world?
Can you tell the difference between female dwarves and male dwarves?
In D&D, actually, yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I would say since this is his custom setting, if like in this
Yeah.
world of his, this is the belt of dwarfiness, so therefore shouldn't what it matter mostly whether or not dwarven females have beards as to whether or not it would be normal.
At the very least, they might have stubble. They are dwarves.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get the boots of haste and the restraints and the dwarven belt.
In early editions of D&D, female dwarves did have beards, but from 4th edition onwards, they do not.
I'll go with that logic.
They get smaller beards. They're considered less dwarf. You know the weird thing is I keep looking at Dragon Ball stuff just to make sure it's one of those things. It's like you think you could tell, but it's kind of hard to tell all the time. I mean, they don't get beards, but like they get these little weird frills. Like you know how like how the what the hell are they called? Like the bearded dragon sort of frill looking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ancient dragons? I don't know.
You can see what I'm talking about here. It's like that sort of thing. It's like
Dragon.
I have no clue how you quantify that.
Like you can see that dragon has protrusions coming from the lower jaw.
Yeah, they've got.
tendrils.
Yeah, no, Dragonborn. They always don't have normal beards, but they've sometimes been drawn with various forms of beard-like or goatee-like bones or whatever. Yeah, tendrils coming off their lower jaw.
Yeah, I guess you could
I
consider
like
it a bit.
catfish.
Like generally, I would rule that most people, in some regard, can probably grow something. You'd have to sort of put it on and see what you get.
Either way, we have money. Well, between the says Diero Ruin, we have money for the restraints, the boots of haste, and the boot of Doven kind.
Stop that. Stop.
No. I'm guessing Sarah's not gonna put in for anything.
I'm even 500 away from the plate armor.
Yeah, he's so close.
He is so
I'm
close.
so close.
understand.
But I'm not really buying it for myself. I mean, I could chip in some extra silver if you need some. I got like 200 silver.
They just
It's like 20 gold right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably should just convert and save it.
I can't actually.
I know I didn't really convert some of the stuff I had over because I kept thinking like 10 Electrum too. Well, Electrum. Is that Electrum?
Yeah,
EP?
The Electrum is a gold.
273 copper, 223 silver, 10 Electrum, 1,047 gold.
So Art can buy the boots of Elven kind at least.
I was going to try to haggle a package deal for.
True, package deal.
Yeah,
we
package deal for all of
we
them.
can negotiate. True, that's fair enough.
What does the Rockophobic do, or is that really after we actually buy something?
This particular thing, it sort of lifts it up off the bench and then sort of just tosses it up into the air, and it then hovers. It starts to slowly orbit around his head. This is an iron stone.
Iron stone?
Yes. Curious little trinket. This particular one, as you see, is a nice, lovely, vibrant purple.
Ooh,
Very
it's
nice.
pretty.
It's all around her little head. Well, using this particular stone, it allows me to store spells within it, and I can draw them out at a time of my choosing.
Holy crap! Explain that further.
This particular thing is an iron stone of reserve. It allows me to At the time, I can choose to cast spells into the stone, and it will hold on to them for later. You can hold up to 3 levels worth of spells.
So it's a much better Silent Waters from L5R.
I don't
Pretty
know what
much,
that is, but sure.
but I think this is more getting around daily casting restrictions than Silent Water, which is mostly getting around casting times.
Yeah, it stores them indefinitely, I guess.
Now, any creature that can cast a spell of first through third level into the stone by touching it as they cast that spell, the spell has no effect other than to be stored within the stone. If the stone cannot hold the spell is expended without effect. The level of the slot used to cast the spell determines how much space it uses. While the stone orbits my head, I can cast any spell stored within it. The spell uses the slot level, spell save DC, spell attack bonus, and spell casting ability of the original caster, but is otherwise treated as if you cast the spell. Spellcast from the stone is no longer stored in it, freeing up space.
But this includes the full action that required to cast the spell. It's not a free action or anything, right?
It requires it requires the action of casting the spell, but it essentially allows you to store additional spells.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I could store a fireball and give it to anyone.
Potentially.
Question: what happens if the spell, the rock is empty, but we interpose the rock between ourselves and a hostile spell?
You would have to get the person to physically touch the stone.
Okay.
And it would have to be a spell that is capable of being stored.
Okay, so it's not about the spell being directed at the rock. The caster must be touching the rock. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it comes with the stuff, so yeah, if you, but yeah, we have enough money for most of the things that we want. I still don't know how much Art has, but if you're putting it together, then
Well, she said she would be getting the boots and the belt.
I said that I could easily get both of those.
Which leaves
I have over 12.
1850 for the rest of.
I have over 1,200 gold, but what I was saying is I wanted to try and haggle a bundle deal for the 4 items we want.
Yeah.
and couple on top.
Haggle, haggle, haggle.
I'm not sure how haggling works.
Well, we talk about it, let you determine what you would be spending, and then you can try and offer a deal.
Well, that was me out of character saying I'm not sure what.
I would typically go with charm test against the DC, depending on how far down you might be trying to push him.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Intimidation. Oh, wait.
Sort of charm persuasion sort of checks to see like if you can convince him to go for less.
Yeah, yep. That's fair.
Trying to cast charm person on. Oh, wait.
I don't think that would go over very well.
No.
I think we might get flung out the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's put it together.
Okay. So, the ones that we want to all together would come out to 2,830 gold. 2,830 gold. If I added correctly, which I'm pretty sure I did.
2,830. Yes.
Okay.
So let's offer him 2,000 and start from there. The haggling starts from there.
Well, we could get more stuff. Because that amulet of alcohol consumption lets somebody drink alcohol for.
Amulet of the drunkard.
Yeah, amulet of the drunkard. That would be.
Let's them drink a potion of booze as if it was a healing potion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that little, little thing of whiskey you got, you drink a bit of that, and you'll be right as rain.
Yeah.
Unless you roll really badly.
Yeah. don't know about the dust of deliciousness or the deck of cards.
Yeah.
Really?
But if we want to put the amulet of drunkenness in there, that's 3230.
Well, make your offer and make your persuasion.
Because that's that would be 5 items, so 2400 be about a 25% discount, which is only 5% on each item when you look at it.
What's your persuasion, incidentally?
9.
What?
9.
Not 9?
9.
Oh, mine's 11.
Could you assist each other for advantage?
I mean, because seems like only one of us gets to roll it. That's why I was just
Yeah.
trying to figure out which of us has the higher stat.
Well, I can
figured
give
yours
you
was good.
Art can give you the argument because she does have Merchants Guild connections. She's not part of the Merchants Guild, but she has connections tenuously with them.
Well, I mean, this sort of situation, most reputable businesses would offer discounts on bulk purchases and to repeat customers.
Yes, 2400 is, like I said, that's only, it's less than 30. It's like, it's roughly 25% discount.
Well, we're not repeat customers yet, but we might be.
Precisely. So in that regard, really, if you were to sell us at say 2400, in a way, you'd be making more money. Because you got to think about all those future sales. And it'll be easier for us to acquire more money to make more future sales with the goods you'll be selling to us today. I mean, we killed a dragon. We're clearly a good investment.
Or your persuasion.
Yeah, any way I can get advantage without like casting friends on him or something?
No, I'm just determining the DC.
Okay, so he's not getting the benefit of Art helping with the haggling.
Well, alright, I'll roll it. I'm pretty persuasive.
Oh, goodness.
How do you have 11? Holy crap.
My charisma is maxed out for 3, and I've got expertise in it.
Yeah.
Ah, that'd do it, yeah.
Well, to answer that question, Krista, in terms of wearing boots, the boots are kind of magical. They can pretty much be worn by anybody. They can form to fit the wearer.
Well, it's not a matter of can Sesh wear them, would Sesh wear them, because they might go with the fancy outfit. And honestly, I wouldn't mind getting the boots to Sesh or the belt to Sesh, one or the other.
What about both?
You know, in terms of your negotiations, he seems to sort of think about it for a second, sort of scratching at a little scraggly beard that he's got on his chin. You make it 2,600. I throw in the dust as well, and we call it a deal.
I'd call sold on that.
Mm, he's gonna throw in the dust.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he's gonna throw the dust in our face. Get out!
Ask for the wand. Put the wand in more as well.
Yeah, that's a fair point. If we're going to cut that kind of deal, then surely you could throw the wand in as a good faith gesture.
As long as you give me your happiest smiles.
You ever seen a smile happier than mine right now?
Your goblin friend was more convincing. Very well, I'll throw in the wand, since you asked so nicely. And I do look forward to potentially having repeat customers. As long as you don't do anything foolish like dying.
If you keep an inventory like this, you will continue to clean out our coffers in the future.
Yes, and at the same time, the town of Marston is like, our money! No!
It went to a good cause, township.
Okay. So if we are doing the 2,600, that would be between the 4 people that are putting in for it, 650 gold each. If
I'm down with
somebody
that.
doesn't have that amount or doesn't want to be because I think you said Rune had 650 even.
Yes.
Art can pay 750, leave you with 100. That way you're not dead ass broke.
No, I don't care about being dead ass broke. Maybe leave Sess more money, because apparently that's a thing that bothers.
I think it's mostly she's not getting anything out of spending all her money.
Which Sedge doesn't care about in character, but I'm kind of fucking
Well,
salty
that's
out
what.
of character.
That's why I'm asking. Would Sedge want? Because would you want the belts or the boots? I said I would like either or. I didn't say I had to have both of them.
I'm not getting anything out of it, but this is some awesome stuff. Like, none of it's useful for me, but...
Yeah,
or rather,
I mean,
some of it could be useful for me, but it's probably better on somebody else.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I don't really care. If Tess wants to have all the boots on her feet, then she can have both haste and the elven.
The thing I was,
yeah, but
I was.
It doesn't make sense to. Is the point? I just want this to be finished. Let's just pay the man the money and move on.
Yep, I'll rub off 650 off my sheet.
Just tell me how much Tell me how much Sedge is giving to the group.
Just 650. And if you want one of the items, just say you want one of them. If you want the belt, have the belt. If you want one of the pairs of boots, have the boots.
It's not that I specifically want any one of the items. It's that the items, everybody was like, okay, well, this is going to be great for me. This is going to be great for me. This is going to be great for me. And it does make sense. There are certain people that all of these are better for.
I actually went, this would be great for this guy, this would be great for this guy.
Kind of, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, as I said, I'm super excited about these, and none of these are optimal on me. I'm not probably going to actually be using any of this, but it's a bunch of cool magical shit.
I'm happy with what I have.
So yeah, rub 650 off.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
Yeah.
then we can move on.
Actually, the restraints is probably best on you or Art because it's a
Yes.
dexterity attack.
Yes, a dex ranged attack. Yes, the magical restraints. I was actually going to point out should probably be carried by
Sesh. I would say
probably
Sesh.
yes.
Because
Yeah,
I prefer to
Art's
go
got
into
the better
melee.
dex, though.
What?
I'm pretty sure Art's got better dex than Sej because her stealth is always higher than mine.
Mm.
That's
Also, if you were to
she had
use it on them,
expertise.
would benefit from things like your favored.
enemy and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a ranged attack like with a bow. Dexterity ranged attack, just like with a bow.
Fair enough.
So yeah, your benefits, your favorite enemy would still apply to it, whereas, you know, Art's sneak attack bone benefits wouldn't really apply to it.
Not at all.
And it gets nothing for There's no proficiency. It's just your dexterity.
Yeah, that's why my stealth always seems so high. It's because I have proficiencies on stealth.
I'd assumed you'd have expertise stealth.
Yeah, it's expertised and proficient.
Alright. You make your exchanges. He happily takes the gold from you. Puts a couple of items away that you did not take.
What did we actually not take?
You didn't take. I don't think you took the amulet, and you didn't take the deck.
No, we added the amulet.
Oh no, you added the amulet, didn't you? You didn't take the deck
Yeah.
of cards.
Yeah, the deck of cards is pretty much the only thing we didn't take.
Yeah, that game was terribly impressed by that.
Yeah, mainly because it's a finite resource.
No, that
It
didn't.
ends at 11 cards.
True. Technically, the dust is as well, but that was a throw-in. So
Yeah, that's true.
That
and
was
the
his.
dust may be rare, but it's a powerful finite resource. Like that's.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold on to that. That's five cases of if we really need to screw over someone and we have the opportunity to poison them, this will render them so vulnerable to so many spells.
No. You exchange money, take your gifts, and along with Droop, make your way out of the hut as he waves you off. Like, well, good luck to you all in your travels. Don't forget to come by again. And whatever you do, if it seems like a building is stalking you, it might or might not be me.
Well, be sure to stop by the next time your hut shows up.
And if it does, it means you probably have an appointment and just don't know it yet.
I see.
Bye.
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 Can we get a house like that for me someday, please?
Someday you'll be able to conjure a house like that and do whatever the fuck you want. You're a wizard. When you're
true.
When you're like rank 18, you'll be a god, bending time and space and making it your bitch.
Yeah. And there's Leomut's majestic manor or whatever it's called.
And as you make your way out of the place, the door closes behind you, and then make your way over to where your horses are, and you look back over your shoulder. No sign of the building.
Well, we resolved the problem.
No, it's Mordecai's magnificent mansion. That's what it's called.
We resolved multiple problems. We resolved the problem of the Groundhog Day hut and having so much money, nothing to spend it on.
Yay! We did good, kids. We did good.
Now let's go.
You have a vague idea what the fuck your cube is, while still
Yes.
knowing nothing.
Yeah, apparently it's those several pocket dimensions, which can be interesting. I think there might be a quest inside it of some sort.
Most likely, but yes, we should be wary. If there's a bunch of pocket dimensions inside it, then we really want to be very wary of what might be inside those pocket dimensions, what might have already been trapped or sealed inside them.
Yeah, because it might be a kind of a deck of many things. Where could be anything inside there.
Yeah.
Like if we roll badly on what we get the
Oh crap! This is where they store the beholder.
yeah.
It might trap us.
You wish it was just a beholder.
Yeah. We somehow
we're-
Asmodeus was thought.
We're rank 5. It doesn't take much out of the monster manual to be horrifying.
Yeah,
Indeed
even
not.
the 6 of us.
Well, you make your way back to your horses. It's now getting on toward late evening. So you could choose to make camp or press on a little further before you choose to rest.
I vote we press 30 feet onwards because I'm a contrarian.
No, I believe
But
we
the
can
horses
stop
move
him.
40.
Let's not be pedantic. We'll set up camp here.
No, we're gonna need to do a lot of math and trigonometry here, trying to figure out how to move 30 feet forward on horses that move in 40-foot increments. Anyway.
Yeah, it's really
Wow.
difficult. 40, and 9, 15, another.
Well, then settling down for a rest, I'll quickly ask for watch orders. I'm assuming that Ruin will be pretty much on watch all night since he can do that.
I'll volunteer for first watch.
Ferroth will be as well because no night vision and all that.
Oh, right, I have night vision. Okay, I'll take, I don't know.
But think about it, you can
I'll
get
take
dark vision if you wear a belt.
Indeed.
I guess I'll take...
That's something you probably need to figure out, who is taking the belt.
Serge's got dark vision to 90 feet, so.
That's true, actually. Sedge has the best of all of us, so she should be on in the middle. I'll take third watch.
I'll be in second watch with Sash. I'll also set up the alarms around.
Guess I'll take third watch. Or I assume it's
is it?
third watch.
Oh, you're that desperate to be in my pleasurable company, then.
No, not really. Not at all.
If Sedge was more socially astute, he may offer to swap with Art. Unfortunately, he's not.
Oh, then. As you go through the night, Diero, roll perception for me.
Oh, crap. Perception. I'm good at this. I'm not good at this.
6 is pretty good.
I mean, I'm actually not terrible at it because I'm a bard, so I'm not allowed to be terrible at anything, but yeah, not my strong suit.
Well, as you're getting further into your watch as dawn is approaching, you notice one of your boots getting a little uncomfortable.
Oh,
It's a mimic.
No, I think I found my coin. I'm gonna go take off my shoe and inspect it.
If you reach into your boot, you do in fact pull out a platinum coin.
Interesting. Neat. I flip it in the air and try to catch it. No.
And you flip it in the air, and as you're watching it with your eyes, something buzzes past you, causing you to blink, and coin's gone.
now it's your problem.
Indeed.
Should have asked for more stuff for putting this evil on you.
Did we figure out who had what?
I don't really think you did.
Not yet.
Apart from Sedge was probably the one taking the
I
iron
wasn't
bands.
I wasn't gonna make a big deal of it until we had an encounter and it became mechanically relevant. But
Yeah.
I figure rock for the wizard because he has the most powerful spells.
Yeah, before night I'm gonna cast the fireball into the rock.
Yep. Boots of haste probably for the fighter. I think he can get the most use out of them.
Alright.
Magical restraint should probably be with the ranger. She's, I think, going to be the best at throwing it.
She'll
Boots
have.
of Elvenkind. Sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say Sedge would have the best chance of making it, especially with favored enemies.
Yeah. Boots of Elvenkind could go on either the rogue or the ranger, and Belt of Dwarvenkind could go on anybody. As could the amulet. I guess the amulet should probably go on whoever we. And I guess the amulet doesn't matter. There's no way it's going off in combat.
Yeah. We should add it into our magic items. Oh wait, we can't edit that. Okay.
Yeah, Belt of Dwarvenkind should go on somebody, but it doesn't really matter who. Literally anyone can benefit from just +2 Constitution.
Yeah, and the resistance to poison. Well, some of us don't have dark vision, like Saroth, for example.
That's true. It's probably anyone who can benefit from the dark vision, who is reasonably likely to be injured,
Yeah.
and who doesn't already have 19 or 20 Constitution.
I don't think anyone has 19 or 20 constitution.
I don't think so, but I don't know for
Not
certain.
yet, no.
Like I don't think anyone is, was hard focusing Constitution.
Mm.
Yeah, anyone
was-
that get. Sorry.
Saroth and Diero are the two of us who've gone down most frequently.
That's true.
South especially.
Oh yeah, it also boosted my dragon breath, wouldn't it too?
Oh yeah,
All
that's
right,
true.
that's constitution. Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
you-
I guess
And
so.
it would give you +1 hit point per level.
So 5.
And I should be a lot harder to hit now because I just got +1 armor since then, and I now have College of Swords, so I have my defensive flourish, which makes me absurdly hard to hit.
So I guess Saroth gets to grow a beard now.
We gotta see a bearded dragon.
Indeed. In the middle of the night, Sarah, please go ahead and roll for me a 1d100. When you wake up, you've got some vaguely sort of wispy protrusion starting to extend from your bottom jaw.
Eat.
Except
So
since
there's
you're a dragonborn, they're kind of hard like bone.
Mm.
I think
This is what Saroth looks like now.
I was literally just about to post that.
Now, that would be if it was Sedge.
I was literally just about to post this. You beat me to it.
Oh goodness, God.
It's like, why the hell is this dragonborn growing a goatee?
It's a ring, right? What do I call? That's what I call it here.
It's
a belt.
It's a belt.
Oh,
Proto-dwarven kind.
for some reason I keep wanting to call it a ring.
Gives you +2 Constitution, which would increase your current hit points by 5. Gives you advantage when trying to persuade dwarves. You can speak, read, and write Dwarvish. You get resistance and advantage against poisons. And
when
you
you
get-
fight those green dragons.
you get dark vision up to 60 feet. Yeah, if you happen to fight another green dragon, you will both be resistant and gain advantage to save against it breathing on you.
Let's see. I have to write all this out because I gotta figure out how to stuff all that on the sheet.
Yeah, there's a lot. I can go over it later. I'll type it all out if you need me to, but it is in the core rule book.
Oh, it is.
Well, if you know, it's in the Dungeon Masters.
Do I have Dungeon Masters? Let's see. If that's the case, that'll be a lot easier to look through. Then that'll be fine.
I'll give page references in a bit. Yes, De'Aaron, you found your coin and lost it again, and Zareth has started to grow a scaly beard.
Bearded dragon now.
Indeed. Other than that, the night seems to pass without incident. As you awaken, just have yourself a quick breakfast, and then can make your way off back along the trail heading northeast.
Indeed.
It's a good time.
So, does everybody know that there is a link to the D&D compendium in our Roll20 screens?
Wait, what?
The third
well,
icon across.
The compendium, yeah, there's basically everything is in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to buy some of that. So
A lot
the
of it,
compendium is free.
yeah. So a lot of the magic items are probably in there listed, apart from the boots of haste, because those are mine.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
the belt of Dwarvenkind right there.
Yeah,
There.
the iron bands are in there. The boots of Elvenkind are in there.
Wow,
Almost everything I gave you is in there, apart from the dust of deliciousness and the boots of haste. The boots of haste are basically boots of speed, but they give you haste instead of speed.
It would be nice if they included a thing so you could click it and put it on a character sheet. Unfortunately, they don't.
At least you should be able to copy and paste, or just at least copy exactly what's written there.
Yep.
But yes, thank you for pointing that out, Fawn.
Thank you. Yeah, because I didn't have the book, so I was looking through the trove right now.
Yeah, I knew it was there, but I'd honestly completely forgotten about it.
Where is the button?
It's
So
on the.
The,
Oh, yeah,
the
it's a little I
information
button.
at the top of chat.
Oh, that's cool.
I never
Yeah.
noticed that before.
I think
I-
it's fairly new.
Yeah, the only thing
Yeah.
that made me think of it is because I did a Google search for some of the items, and I noticed that they were on the Roll20 D&D compendium, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's any way to access that from inside the game. And I went and I clicked on the icon, and it's like D&D 5th edition compendium, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I think they added that in like the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
The hell is a
'cause I got
Tomb
emails about more stuff being added to Roll20 about it.
Oh,
right.
okay, that's what it
Yeah, well,
does.
we haven't played in 3 or 4 weeks, so this
Yeah,
is
the
probably
thing is
the
also
first
it's
time.
added if my game is also set up to say it's specifically using D&D 5th edition, so the compendium is probably accessible because of
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Cool.
If you went into a different lobby, it probably wouldn't be there because it's not
Yeah.
5th edition.
I was told you have to if you look it up in the compendium, you can just drag it over into your character sheet because it'll show on your character sheet that it's accepting it from the
Oh, it
compendium.
does. Neat.
You might have to have your character sheet locked to the screen, because when I try and do that, my character sheet goes away.
No,
Yeah.
I'm on
You've
a.
only got one
I'm-
monitor, Vaughn. So
I
it might-
don't have one monitor. I have 2 monitors, so when I drag
Yeah,
it
same,
over,
Vaughn does.
yeah.
Yeah, even if I've got 2 monitors though, I always pop my character sheet out so it's not locked to my in-game screen.
Yeah.
Oh, it even if you do it like that, it also automatically does boost your Constitution score. It makes it nice and blue.
Indeed.
Oh.
That's really handy. Holy shit.
Is the Ion Stone also here?
We learn
Ion Stone.
things.
It's IOUN.
Yeah. Alright, it lists all of them, so.
Yeah, there's like 14 different variations. You have the one of reserve.
Oh God, I've got even more languages now. I can talk to everything.
This is nice.
It's
You
those
talk to
common
trees.
things.
This is nice learning how to do this.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
It does.
How do you drag it over?
You just left click and drag it over. And your
So-
character sheet will say accepting from compendium and it automatically adds it.
You've got to drag the name of it from the list that comes up. You don't drag the window.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try on the ironstone. Accept and drop from compendium.
Mm-hmm. And then just let go. And it drops it
Okay,
into
so
your
now I
inventory.
just have ironstone.
Okay, and you can do it with spells too, and it drops them across.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Ironstone of what was it? Storing? I already forgot.
Reserve.
Reserve.
Did I already did it change my health points? No, I don't think it did.
Okay, I think you can only drag and drop the ion stone in and of
Yes.
itself.
You can't
Yeah.
drag the specific types.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just all it does is drag the thing. It doesn't actually. I don't think you can use it in any way to. Oh, actually, it does have some text in it. I'm just wondering how do you get it to print that text of anywhere?
Hmm?
There's a lot of text in this
Yes, there is.
Ironstone, but I'm wondering if I can have it printed out like those boots of haste for ruin.
It might be something you might have to type in manually.
Yeah, what could be?
Wow. Oh, that was the thing. I suppose we'll continue in the morning
Yeah,
in the castle.
Indeed. So,
So
continue your way. You what?
Oh, sorry. It didn't auto calculate my new hit points, so I had to check to make sure how much I get. So it just basically boosted me up by 5.
yes.
You continue to make your
Oh,
way
but-
northeast along the trail. After a few hours, once again, the person in the lead, which I believe would still be Sedge, perception for me.
Okay, Sedge and Seroth are still together in the lead.
I would imagine
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll roll that with advantage. Oh, that's balls.
Yep.
Fuck you, roll 20.
Your passive perception is quite high, though, isn't it?
Passive is
15.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, as you make your way further up along the trail, you start coming out, continuing on through the woods, and after a couple of hours, you come to a point where, as you're making your way on the path, right as you're about to ride over it, you notice an odd-looking patch of dirt in the middle of the trail before you.
Stop and examine it.
Stopping.
How is it odd looking?
Looks like it may have been dug, dug recently.
How big is it?
Most of the width of the trail goes along about 15, not 10 feet across and about 15 feet long.
Okay, I'm going to get down off of my horse. And I'm going to find a very long stick.
Well, can do so easily enough. Snapping a low branch off of something.
I'm going to prod the edge of the dirt pile.
Prod it severely a few times. It's not collapsing, but you start poking a few holes through, and you see that the earth has been placed over a very sort of crude wooden lattice over some sort of pit.
A pitfall trap. I'm going to use the stick to knock some of the dirt and lattice away to try and look down the hole and see if it's deadly spikes or just a hole, how deep it is.
And poking through, so you can see down. You can see what look to be a number of crudely made and sharpened wooden spikes lining, sticking up out of the bottom of the pit.
It is spike trap. How recently does it look like it was dug? Can I tell?
Do a nature check.
Nope.
You're not sure, but given it's rained heavily, probably about 5 or 6 days ago, and it doesn't seem to have been disturbed at all by that. It probably be after the rains.
Okay, so even with fucking up the nature roll that badly, it's possible this could be related to our movements, or it could just be that they've refreshed it after the rains.
It's quite possible.
After a minute, Droop hops down off the carriage and comes forward and sort of gets down, sniffs around the edge of it. Goblin trap.
Trapped for goblins or trapped by goblins? There's an important distinction.
Trapped by goblins.
Thank you, Drew.
Droop helped dig one or two back in before.
Does your king have scouts this far?
Good. Droop think not often this far, but getting closer. King often have groups of goblin and hobgoblin going around area near castle. More pit trap ahead.
Sedge is going to express to Saroth in Draconic that he feels like taking the horses and the carriage the rest of the way is going to make us unavoidably obvious, and that we should probably find somewhere off the path in a location where we can conceal them and basically just tie them up for a day or so. And we should continue on foot from this point.
Yeah.
They'll probably won't. No, it won't be as comfortable for them, but it does seem like the best option.
We make good pace on horses. Droop think we walk 3-4 hours to castle.
Sedge is going to nod at that. That's probably an acceptable compromise. Especially too because we're not going to be getting the carriage around this pit. Because it takes up most of the width of the road.
And we're gonna leave it, go the rest of the way, storm the castle. It's not so far away that I don't think we can't haul our stuff back, especially with floating discs.
Indeed.
But yeah, so we should scout around just off the path for somewhere we can leave the horses and the carriage that's going to be relatively concealed, so we can just that was Sedge's main reason for asking about whether there's scouts, because if there's no scouts out this far, if we conceal the horses and the carriage off the path, there's little to no chance that anyone should just randomly stumble across them and steal them or murder them.
Occasional scout, not often this far. Maybe every day or two.
Then let's move and get the horses packed up.
Goblin's lazy. Yeah, if you want to try and find somewhere to haul up your horses, so you can either roll perception or nature to try and find a good spot.
Now the better question: should I dismiss my own mount, or
Does your mount have stealth in any capacity?
let me check the sheet?
I thought you could, like, can't you resummon your mount?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I could just
Yeah.
resummon it later. Oh right, nope, has no skills.
Okay, yeah, probably best just to dismiss it and then resummon it.
Yep, the more
You must
bound is good for
know.
hunting. It is not good for sneaking. It went to kill things.
No, you must ride your glorious mount into battle.
I'll call you back soon, boy, and you will dismiss. Or girl at this point. I can't remember. It's Celeste being.
I think it's kind of your choice. It's like, I don't know what gender you are, at this point it's too late to ask.
Oh,
It is
So-
dismissed back
Yeah.
to the celestial realms.
If we want to do a nature check, Pox probably the best one to do that, to be honest.
I mean, we could assist so he has an advantage.
Yeah.
Advantage. Ah,
It's not
decent.
bad.
You look around a little, and after sort of 10-15 minutes of searching, you find a couple hundred yards away off the trail, through some past a thick with bushes and shrubs, you find a small cave. Just built into a small natural canyon. There's a small cavern that you discover.
A cave is probably a good place.
So, sort of having put a poke around the area. You don't find any signs of wild animals living in it. Sort of no carcasses or bones that might have been consumed by something that would live there if there was.
Yeah. It's like a good place to have the horses.
So you can lead them in there and lay out like a bag of feed that you brought with you for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got the feed.
Hobble them or tie them up so they can't wander off.
Yep.
It's a small cavern, and there'll be a few sort of side sites that you could, tie the horses up to.
Sounds good.
and then make your way back out to the trail and continue onward on foot.
Indeed.
Okay, so carrying on, Drupal now have moved up to the front with you as well as he knows the area relatively. He's like keeping an eye out for landmarks. So, our perception again, if you will, as you continue forth.
Okay.
And also, are you following the trail or are you staying off of it?
I think at this point we probably want to move parallel to the trail, so we're not exactly on it, but we are nearby, so we can keep using it as a landmark. Sorry, yeah, you were going to say?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, on we go. There we
Yeah.
go, that's better.
Much for another hour or so. As you're moving parallel to the trail, you do catch glimpses of more disturbed patches of earth as you make your way. And then, as you continue on your journey, after a while you hear something moving through the brush up ahead of you.
Okay. We
And
all
as,
should stop.
yep. And as you stop, you see a little ways ahead of you, maybe about, I want to say about 100, 120 feet ahead of you. It's like a small group of goblins sort of winding their way through the trees, heading sort of at a right angle to you, heading across your path toward the trail and beyond. About half a dozen goblins. You see a couple hobgoblins and a few wolves with them.
Okay. Right now we're close enough to start moving, start coming across goblin patrols. This is happening.
I approve.
Everybody enjoy a +10 to stealth checks.
Yes, this is probably a very good, a wise decision because as you nose the patrol, I want everyone to go ahead and make for me a stealth check.
Yeah, look at that.
+10. That makes sense.
Hey, no problem. That's easy. I got this. I don't got this.
Well, you got
You got
+10.
+10.
25. Fuck.
So, Droop.
17.
Droop.
No. Oh, you've rolled that with disadvantage, yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
you, Droop, man.
I got heavy fucking armor.
All right, 21, so that's fine.
Did better than Droop.
2.
Oh, Sarah
You got a
throws
12.
12.
It's like it's not a natural one.
Yeah.
This time.
Sarah, there are 17 better numbers in the dice.
So let's see him.
Lizard man goes stomp, stomp, stomp.
Mm.
Uh,
That actually makes me think of that fucking meme. On the one side, you've got Pot crying out, Sarah, there are 17 better numbers on the dice. And then on the right, you've got Sarah just going, ha ha, lizard man, go stomp, stomp, stomp.
Dragon Man. Dragon Man.
Dragonborn.
and Art rolled a 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art's fucking invisible, but then I expected that.
Uh,
Because she's also got the elf boots as well.
Which is why she
Yeah,
has
that's
advantage.
Mm.
yeah.
Well, You're making as you're sort of you see Sage raises his hand. You sort of step back into cover. Saraf almost continues to blunder on before he's grabbed by Art and pulled back behind a tree.
Is that what happens when I have a high enough stealth? I can just pull Saroth behind a tree and say, shh.
Say the passive out of trace made him barely pass.
That's what I was hoping for, is that the goblins and the hobgoblins had absolutely shite perception.
My
+0
perception.
and -1.
Yeah, my perception's on par or worse than some of theirs. Because my perception is shit.
Yeah, you duck back behind bushes and trees as the goblins, hobgoblins make their way past you. You see one of the wolves in their group sort of pauses for a second, raising his head and sniffing around, sort of glancing over in your direction before one of the hobgoblins just gives it a bit of a kick to keep it moving.
The question is, do we want to clean up the patrols or do we want to head straight for the castle? And deal with patrols after we've taken the king down.
On the one hand, we don't want to get attacked in the back. On the other hand, trying to, thin the numbers of goblins is a fool's errand. They will never run out of goblins.
Well, yeah, I was thinking if we can get the king taken out and we can get Droop established as king, we might not have to fight all the goblins.
Groups say we take castle, kill king. Either everyone join Droop, or patrol will return. Ambush. Goblins like ambushing.
Yeah, I'm with Droop here. I say we not take any fight we don't have to take. Our goal ultimately is to kill Groll, and the only things we should fight are the things that are indisputably in our way of getting to him.
We are here to support King Droop's claim on the castle.
Droop shows secret path into castle. Longer route, but less watched.
Sounds like a good idea.
It starts to divert a bit more off to the left.
It'll be much less of a kingdom if we have to, kill all the goblins at the front of the gate.
Is this where we start referencing Droop's dirt drawing?
Not quite, but it might come up soon. Leaves you on for a little while. You continue making your way around and see another patrol as you're continuing your way up through the woods, making away from the trail. And won't as you order roll stealth again because this group also similarly rolled obliviously.
Hey!
We continue on?
So can any of you with passive out of trace not beat a 7?
We literally can't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you rolled a 1, maybe?
Well, that's it. It depends on whether you're going to rule that if someone rolled a 1, that would absolutely be a crit fail. And we would have a consequence regardless.
In these regards, I'd say no, because passive out of trace literally beats their passive on its own.
Exactly.
And for the sake of time as well.
So Seraph, with his 0 skill, would still be fine.
So, true ways, Droop starts to lead you up a rocky crag, and then it comes to a point where you're partway up a cliff face, moving along narrow ledges, and then he points down to your right, where you can see the castle standing maybe a few hundred yards away.
We're somewhere in this set of trees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. big forest.
And as he pointed out to you, you can see through parts of the woods, through the trees, the large stone steps leading up between a set of towers on the front facing of the castle. And you can see several towers that make up around the edges of it. Drew points out around the north side of it. North wall, the damaged section, covered over but easy to get inside. Goblins are lazy. Told to repair it. Goblins do best goblins can be bothered to.
But Droop's not like other goblins. He's not lazy.
Droop lazy when Droop want to be.
But not right now.
Come. Leads you further along the craggy path and then starts to gradually scale down toward the northern side of the castle. And as you're getting closer, pauses as you start coming up toward another patrol, and I'm going to ask for stealth checks again.
Woo, stealth.
Alright.
You still have
pass
pass without a trace
Yep.
right now. It's still within
Good
the
to
time limit.
Don't worry, I will help you with the Song of Sneaking.
16.
Make sure you sing that song of sneaking nice and loud, Diero.
Damn right.
It's so embarrassing that the goblins pretend you're not there to avoid the embarrassment.
Causes
You
a very
notice them look at you and then actively turn their gaze away from you, just like, oh fuck.
So,
The reason they
let's
look
see, we
away
have-
is the awkward thing of maintaining eye contact. It makes anybody uncomfortable.
Saroth?
Yep.
Get that stealth going.
Do we really have to?
Yes.
Yes. Well, no.
Hey, you got an 8 this time.
So we have a 37, a 16, a 15, a 25, a 20, and an 18.
Not too bad.
Very unfortunate.
Who got a fucking critical success on this perception?
The goblin.
Mhm.
Fucker.
Fucking gobos.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, maybe Droop can convince them to join his side.
well, as you're beginning to make your way down, you see this patrol coming. You all duck back behind cover. Unfortunately, a bit too slowly as one of you steps upon a branch on the ground, looking for snapping of twigs, and a couple of goblins glance over in your direction as though hearing something. You may hear some shouted back and forth, and presumably in goblin, before a couple of them start advancing in your direction.
That does pose us with a problem. What are we to do with all these dead goblins?
Well, I think we will pick up there next week.
Okay.
Yay!
It's-
Yeah, probably next.
Yeah, next week.
Time to
Catch
fight
most
the
of you
goblins.
tomorrow.
Yay!
And I
So we can all die tomorrow.
well, I honestly at this point things are. I had a plan. Now I have absolutely no idea what to expect or what to plan for tomorrow.
We have no plan.
Oh no.
You have no plan.
Do you have a goal?
Yes.
To not fucking die.
That's
Yeah,
usually a pretty good
basically.
goal.
Yeah, well, it
If you
seems like
plan
we
around
might be
that.
sabotaging our chances of not dying.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, I guess my goal as it was to get you through the battle and hopefully have fun and hopefully not, skew it so badly you get killed without it being terrible. But that was my main goals, and I have no idea anymore how it's going to go because of is this adventure going to be over in 2 hours, and I'm going to have to prepare for the next adventure, or we?
Or because Rianosuke
not?
managed to read some lips.
Is this real life?
Possibly, as I've tried planning as such I can for that general thing, but I will confess, I did not even consider this as a possibility
Yes.
in
I don't think
planning this up. I did not even think of the idea of what if we went and exposed it. Basically, I never even considered the notion of you guys trying to actively undermine the hair and help the crab.
Oh dear God.
So much trying to undermine the hair and help the crab. It's more giving a great big fuck you to the scorpion.
Yeah.
I don't know what Doji what's his face
Ragu.
Raigu thought when he sent us, the guys who have reputation of
Fucking everything up.
well,
He sent
yeah.
you. He sent you into what is, from his clan's perspective, a heroic but probably doomed last stand. You have a reputation for pulling off, heroic and amazing feats, like you did at the fucking outpost.
Yeah. I guess he didn't take into account that we are
That we
Scorpion.
actually follow his orders of dealing with illegal things.
Why should you? You're on the scorpion's side in this conflict.
Why would you believe us?
The problem with that is that while I understand that yes, we've only gotten this reputation now after several years of magnificent heroic feats.
But we are not
He's put us
all
on the same he's put us on the same side as the scorpion, and I'm pretty much every single one of us has beef with the scorpion, not just from a general clan standpoint, but from a direct and personal standpoint.
To be fair, the scorpion has tried to kill me less than the crab.
True. But then the crabs who have tried to kill
That you
you
know
usually
about.
just punched you in the face.
Wait. How many times have the crab tried to kill you?
You know Aaron North on the other side of the field, right? He's tried to kill me
Yeah.
too.
Gojiro, yeah, he punched him in the face and almost broke his neck.
Yeah, but like in the adventure before the last one was, I think we were tried to kill like 5 times.
The immediate count that comes to my mind as to what might be counted is 3. 2 from Gojiro, 1 from Aranori, in terms of times that a crab has tried to get Kazuori killed.
I'm not going to go into how many
true.
times the scorpion have tried.
Yeah.
Though they did eventually change their minds temporarily.
If we count individual scorpion, all that, then the number does get fairly high.
17.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah,
There's
the thing is that only 3 of us are on this side of the hare or scorpion. So
I mean, technically,
I mean, that's the other big problem is that he sent a Kuni in,
yeah.
and
yes.
there is no way that I could have stayed on that side. So
Possibly. You'll have to interpret his motives as you see fit. Was he, just trying to use and abuse you, put you in a shitty situation and try to get you to turn against your clan? Was he anticipating this would happen, or that's unclear?